And ahoy once again, my friends. Welcome to another Call of Cthulhu Saturday. I apologize about not having Call of Cthulhu last night. Having a bit of maybe with the boys, a bit of a catch up since now restrictions are lowered. But a big ahoy to AJ and Drake. I hope you are both doing quite well on this fine evening, day, morning, wherever you may be. But I hope you're all doing well. Now, a lot has happened since we done Call of Cthulhu. We done a lot of things off stream. As some of you may remember, we got paid $5,000, and I bought a few good items. One, I bought a new car, and a World War One vest that grants me 2 armor. And what Dale has told me is the best handgun you can get in the 1920s, a 44 Magnum, which does 1d10 plus 1d4 plus 2 damage. And I think that is pretty damn nifty. Also, I have spells now. Woo! It's 3:47 in the morning for you, AJ. Jeez. Oh, what's the matter, Drake? What is the matter, my friend? Oh, God. Red Bull helps so much. Ooh. Also, today we may not have Ernest Von Shaft, Tom's character, and we may not have M1 because I was drinking with M1 last night and he's still not awake yet, and neither is Tom. Hopefully we get Tom back tonight. But we are joined with Ratner and Scarbrand, otherwise known as Matt and Dill. Their characters, Ron Constantine, and if you guys remember way back 2 months ago, I think, Dylan is playing his old character, Professor Longfellow, who got jailed and is now released. So this should be fun. Alright, let us jump into the chat, my friends.
Yeah, well, I was thinking along the lines of after what happened last time, they would have gotten me out of prison, so it probably makes more sense this way, really.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
He's back. Okay, we shall begin. We are going to be joined by Ernest Von Schaff in 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, fantastic.
We will begin without him.
No word from M1?
Yeah, M1 will join in. It's their cousin's birthday, so...
Oh, okay.
It's over, yes. Right, so here we are. Episode 2 of the final revelation of Gla'aki. This episode is entitled The Recluse. It is September of 1925, several months since Tom Selleck and Ernest Von Schaff survived by the skin of their teeth and encountered the terrible servants of Gla'aki. In this time, Tom Selleck and Ernest Von Schaff have devoted their everyday life to uncovering more rumors of happenings that are natural, so that they may track down the source of this evil and stop it once and for all. Joining our returning survivors today, we have Ron Constantine.
Hey there.
And we have an old hand, Professor Longfellow, who has been released from jail after serving a couple of years behind bars after his terrible nightmare ordeal against the ghouls. The sole survivor of that group, he now returns with a new purpose in life: to hunt down the unnatural and stop it at all costs.
Indeed. Roger Longfellow, Monster Hunter.
Nice.
Sir, educated and badass. And so we are here as the beginnings of autumn begin to stir. You have been drawn to the town of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, a sort of sleepy fishing and woodcutting town on the edge of the infamous Hockomock Swamp, a large patch of dense swampland that is said to be the cradle of many mysterious happenings. You have been drawn here for a simple reason. In the past week, you noticed a newspaper ad. The newspaper ad claims to have been placed by Jarvis Woodruff, the editor of the Bridgewater Independent, seeking anyone who could assist him with the disappearance of a trainee journalist who disappeared while in the process of investigating the mysterious swamp monster of the Hockomock. Tom Selleck, as soon as you read the word swamp monster, one thing came to mind, that terrible form you saw rising out of the lake at the end of your conflict with the servants of Gla'aki. And you couldn't shake the feeling that something similar was going on in Bridgewater. So you packed up your things and left.
Does it sit too right with Tom Selleck here?
Yep. Professor Longfellow, you, after your experiences, recognized the hallmarks in the ad, the subtle clues that something strange may be afoot. And so you gathered your belongings, packed all of your research that you had compiled while in prison, notified your employers, and headed off to Bridgewater. Don Constantine, what has brought you here?
Oh, I happen to be a deemed knowledge specialist. I hunt these things for money.
And there's a lot of money in it. He's promising a rather substantial reward for the return of the missing journalist. So here you are at the Independent, the town's main newspaper, housed in the same 19th century building from which it has operated since its founding. The building is 3 stories high. Its walls are painted white in imitation of marble, and Greek columns complete the classical illusion. 3 of you enter the building together. You enter an empty lobby decorated with the front pages of several decades worth of newspapers. A young man with red hair and wiry glasses sits at the front desk typing away on a typewriter. As he sees you, he straightens his glasses. Then he says, can I help you? Would you like me to, is there a correction you'd like me to print?
Oh crap, why is everything just gone out the window? Too much alcohol last night. Yeah. Hey there, we're just here investigating some kind of their missing journalist.
He says, hear about the ad that Mr. Woodruff put in the paper to find Caitlin.
Yes.
Right. Well, you could just head right on up to his office. He's in there. He won't mind the interruption. He's been driving himself to the wit's end trying to get to the bottom of this.
Mad kind of you.
Points to a staircase leading up to the 2nd floor, and he says, upstairs there, that's the newsroom. You'll find his office soon enough. It's the only room outside of the main newsroom. He's the only one who gets an office to himself.
Ooh, look at the fancy man with the fancy. Sorry.
So you head upstairs, past the newsroom where a couple of journalists are typing away. As you pass one of them, all 3 of you make spot hidden checks, please.
Okay, I think I rectum I can do that. What's my spot hidden?
Oh, wait, roll.
That is just a pass right there.
Just a pass, yep.
I've also passed.
Give me a sec, just copying this for later.
Yep, into the clip.
Yeah, that's pass.
And a pass, yep.
You guys
As
need
you
more
pass...
clacky number rocks.
Quicker clucky number rocks, yes. As you pass the desk nearest to the editor's office, you glance at the article that he's just pulling out of his typewriter. It has a headline, yet another mystery of the Hockomock. Number of missing people increases to 13.
Hockomock?
The swamp.
Assuming that's
it's
the
got
monster.
a weird name. Yeah, Hockomock is the name. The Hockomock Swamp is what the town is built on.
Oh, okay, yep. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Anyone wish to make any comment, or would you just simply breeze past him?
Yeah, I'll make a comment and go, sorry, I couldn't help but pry, but what's this, Huckmark monster that you were writing about?
He looks at you, middle-aged man, his face weathered with age and many sleepless nights spent in this office, and he says, it's hogwash is what it is, but it sells papers.
Honestly, because you're writing about it, you must know someone who's reporting about it who might know a little bit more about it.
He says, lots of tourists come down to these parts because of all the weird stories about the swamp, you see. We got phantom lights in the middle of the night. We got swamp monsters. We've got killer dogs. We've got flying saucers. All kinds of things in these parts. Most of it's nothing more than superstition, of course, but occasionally we hear of something that we can spin into a nice story, exaggerate a couple key features, and link a bunch of interconnected shit together, and, well, it sells. These people eat it up.
So, all one big tourist trap, eh?
Says, exactly right. Says, in fact, the new girl, Caitlin, I think her name was, said she was gonna go out there and find real evidence of the Huckmark swamp monster, and, well, I'll have to speak to the editor about that. I think she realized what she'd gotten herself into and made a run for it.
Yeah, that's what we're here about.
He nods at you and goes back to typing his article. Enter the editor's office. Jarvis Woodruff sits behind a large, well-ordered oak desk populated by baskets of neatly stacked papers. A modern typewriter. A degree hangs a bit crooked on the walls, as well as a photograph of Jarvis with the town mayor. He rises in friendly greeting when you enter. He shakes your hands, each in turn, and then thanks you all profusely for your offer of help. You take a good look at him. Jarvis Woodruff is a middle-aged man who is just starting to lose his straight black hair. He wears a grey suit and maroon tie, as impeccably dressed as his office is tidy. Once again, he shakes your hands and says, thank you. Thank you so much for answering that ad. You're the only folks who have so far.
Nah, what I've seen last week, I'm not one to ignore any kind of shit like this.
He says, maybe you're the ones who'll find that poor missing girl and bring her back.
Yeah.
He gestures towards the seats, the chairs opposite his desk, offers for you to take a seat, and pulls a bottle of whiskey out of a drawer, and he pours 3 glasses on the desk in front of him.
I'm not taking any chance with whiskey again.
Politely decline.
I'll partake in some whiskey.
You take the whiskey, take a sip, and then take a seat in front of the desk. Jarvis takes a sip out of the bottle and puts it away. And he says, I suppose I better get straight to the point. So, as you might have read in the ad, I'm looking for a missing journalist. She just started working here last year. Goes by the name Caitlin O'Brien. Young, pretty, headstrong sort of thing. You know what broads these days are like.
Aye.
He takes another sip and chuckles. He says, apparently she came all the way here up from Boston because she heard of some of the strange things that go on in the swamp, wanted to make a career out of it. And I told her, hell, there ain't nothing to it. You just have to listen to some of the things the town folks say and spin a story out of it. And, that wasn't enough for her. She said she was going to go out there, was going to get proof that there's a monster in that swamp, and that she had a new lead that would help her find it. I warned her not to go. Well, if I didn't let her, she would have gone anyway. So
what exactly is this new lead?
He says, I tried to get it out of her, and she said she wouldn't share it, that she wanted this story to be completely hers, and she wasn't going to risk anyone else at this newspaper stealing it out from under her nose. He says, though, He says, before she left, I know she did a bit of research at the library, maybe headed down to the general store to stock up on supplies, so there's some possible things you can ask around about. Except she left about a week ago and hasn't come back. I've been worried. I tried to contact the police, but, well, they don't have a good track record of finding people that go missing in the swamp. He frowns, and then he says, well, not alive, at the least.
Heard that about the police before.
I used to know a man named Ace. It didn't go too well.
Before she left, had she set herself up an office in this building?
He says, oh, yeah, sure. What you want to do is go outside and look at the desk closest to the stairwell. The one that has a picture of, one that's got a picture of a pretty girl on it. Apparently that's her sister. She's been set up there since she joined here. Place is always in a bit of a mess, and I haven't looked through it, but if you think there might be something useful, go ahead.
I think there might. I'll give it a crack at the very least.
He nods, takes another sip of whiskey, and then finally puts the bottle away, and he says, well, I hope at the very least you can, get to her before... Well, hell, there can't be anything in that swamp. Most likely she's just, realized what she got herself into and got the hell out of town.
No, come on, you sound like you were about to say something else there. Is this something you were hiding on us? We have to know all the things.
Make a charm check, please.
Oh, I was actually about to flash my badge.
Oh, okay. Yes, your PI badge.
Yeah.
Please make a persuade check with advantage.
Or would that be a law check?
Might be a do you have points in law?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, do a law.
Yeah,
Do a law check, please, with advantage.
And as Drake actually pointed out in the chat, which I was oblivious about, I'm Tom Selleck PI, and now I have a Magnum, so I'm Tom Selleck Magnum PI.
Magnum Magic PI.
And he now has a Magnum handgun, so... hand cannon.
That is a critical pass, that is a 16.
Flash your badge and impress upon him the utmost importance of any information he can provide. And he says, well, okay. It's just that, well, she seemed to have her heart set on going into the swamp. Said she even had a contact in there, too. And, well, she was gonna get to the bottom of what's going on in there, no matter what. And, well, to be honest, this town's pretty small. There's only a couple of ways out of town, so, if she'd packed up and left by now, I had a feeling I would have known about it.
This contact, can you tell us anything about it?
Says, unfortunately not. Don't want to share anything. Was deathly afraid that one of the other hacks out there would steal the story from under her.
Oh, as you said,
It is quite an unbecoming quality in a woman.
As you said, small town, I'm pretty sure we'll find out something.
He says, yeah. He looks at Ron and he says, yeah, you got it. Comes fresh from the city, acting bigger than her britches, I'll tell you that much. Well, I sure hope it hasn't been the death of her.
There wouldn't happen to be any gators out in that swamp, would there?
He says, oh, of course. Plenty. Gators, wolves, any number of dangerous animals out there. Look.
I heard there's some kind of crazy guy out there named Scaly Pete.
He says, yeah, wouldn't surprise me if there's some crazy hermits. Look, as I said to her, you want to head out there without a gun, that's your funeral.
Indeed.
I
promise you I shall not be making the same mistake.
And I just flash in my Magnum, because it's my new prized possession, and just like,
yes.
I think I'm pretty fun right here. Of course, I'm not telling him about my new magic powers.
Yeah. He says, well, as long as you go in prepared. I hope she listened to me and made the necessary preparations herself, but something tells me she had her mind set.
Indeed, it does seem that way. I'll finish my drink and start heading towards the next her desk. Much obliged for the information, good sir.
He nods and he says, well, hopefully you can bring her back. And if you do, well, she'll be writing the lifestyle column for the foreseeable future. He smiles at you as you shut the door to his office and you make your way to Caitlin's desk. It's, as he said, it's near the stairwell. It's incredibly messy, covered in stacks of paper, notes, photographs, a camera that looks like it's in a state of disrepair, several pens and other things. A library use check might be in order to sort through these various bits and bobs.
Alright, I have library use. Does anyone else have higher than 30?
I've got 35.
The professor's got 100.
Oh,
Technically,
I mean,
he'll fail, because 100's always a fail.
Yes, but in this case, he failed. Yeah.
Pass.
Oh, wow, nice.
Hard pass.
Yeah, so the professor attempts to go through the stuff first, and,
That's just
well,
unfortunate right there.
she hasn't catalogued any of her notes according to any academic system that you're aware of, and,
Why
have a
academic
hard
abilities
time.
have been fucking awful, this entire character. I don't think I've made his library use check yet.
And you can't really make heads or tails of all the notes she's gathered here. However, Ron, you go through most of the things that the professor discards, and even though most of them appear to be notes about unimportant cases, local gossip and other things that a small town journalist would be reporting on, you see a piece of paper that appears to have a small handful of notes about the Hockomock Swamp, in addition to a small slip of paper where Caitlin appears to have written down her temporary address, the Davis boarding house just off the town square. Might be worth checking out.
While I'm perusing the documents, can I see if there's anything occult related in the notes?
I was just about
Yes.
to ask, can I, I'll let him
Both of you make...
I
Would you like to use...
I was going to try the...
That is a hard pass.
Oh, nice. Never mind then.
Right. So you look through her... The main thing that catches your eye is the notes she's written about the Hockomock Swamp. And you glean the following, that the Hockomock Swamp and the surrounding area has been known for some decades as the Hockomock Triangle. It is a place...
Ernest von Schaff is
and
here.
Ernest von Schaff is here, and I'll introduce him in a moment. And you determine that the... You determine that the area has been known for quite some time as the Hockomock Triangle, and it is a patch of land that is rather infamous for disappearances. As many as 13 people may have disappeared in the last 20 years. 6 of them were found horribly mutilated, and the other 7 were never seen again. There's been reports of phantom lights, wisps, ghosts, and pretty much any kind of paranormal activity you can think of. This area is known to be a particular hotbed for it.
Alright, 2 things I want to do. Use Cthulhu Mythos to see if I know anything about the triangle.
Go ahead.
Oh my god, yes, that is a 9. Haha, excellent.
All right. I'll reveal what you found after I onboard Ernest. Ernest, it's been several months since your last encounter with the servants of Gla'aki, and you've spent this time ready to hunt down your next big quarry. And you have now accompanied your new colleague, Tom Selleck, to the rural town of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, on the edge of the Hockomock Swamp, where you are answering a newspaper ad placed by Jarvis Woodruff of the Hockomock Independent for anyone who can assist him in finding the location of an intern journalist who went missing while researching the Hockomock Swamp Monster. Mentions of Swamp Monster made you think of the horrific figure in the lake, and so you answered this call immediately. Taken while your colleagues went to the newspaper office to formally register their interest, you lagged outside preparing all your hunting gear, and you've just now entered the newspaper office in time to see Tom Selleck holding a piece of paper with a aghast look on his face. Tom Selleck, you have succeeded on your Cthulhu mythos roll, and you are aware that the Hockomock Swamp, in particular, is known to be one of the bodies of water where Gla'aki may manifest.
Well, shit. Alright, and second thing I wanted to, accounting, can that be used to look for if there are any receipts around?
Yes.
Awesome. Can I do an accounting check?
Yes, you can.
58. What is my accounting at? No, that's a fail.
Well, there doesn't appear to be any receipts on her desk anyway. It's likely you'll have to check out her place of residence to find more. You've got some interesting information, and you summarize it to Ernest as he enters. Ernest, they tell you that in their meeting with the editor, they were told that the young journalist, Caitlin O'Brien, claims that she had a new lead that would allow her to prove once and for all the existence of the swamp monster, and despite the editor's better judgment, she set out into the swamp a week ago and is yet to return. He's told them that she conducted some research at the library before leaving, and that she purchased some supplies from the local general store. The party has just finished searching her desk in the newspaper office, where they've found some notes about the Hockomock Swamp, indicating that it is a hotbed of paranormal activity, and a slip of paper with her current place of address.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, I will reserve my judgment of what to do for now. What is the rest of you thinking?
I'm thinking some of us go to a place of residence, and I'm going to hit up the general store and ask a few questions.
Yeah.
And do.
Perhaps one of us who is more, how can I say it, skilled in the academic part, might want to go to the library and see. Indeed. I
Yes.
shall head to the library.
Well, Longfellow and Ernest may head to the library, while Tom Selleck and Ron head to the jail. Oh, yes, and it's also her place of residence. So we shall.
Perhaps I shall go to the place of residence, because libraries are not really where I show my forte.
Very much true. Before you leave, Liam, pull Ernest or any of the others aside and tell them that this area may be under the influence of a Gla'aki.
Yeah, well, of course, Ernest knows a bit of that. I guess I have to fill in Ron and Professor Longfellow.
Yes.
Look. Before we go, guys, I just gotta tell you this. The swamp we're going to is. I just gotta say, be prepared. After mine and Ernest's last adventure, we saw some things that aren't of this world. So you might just want to be prepared physically and mentally.
I make my living on this stuff. You don't need to worry about me.
Just giving you a friendly warning. Just be warned.
What
Right.
sort of stuff?
Well, apparently, they worship some sort of, swamp god, and they were trying to, dig up this crystal to, free him from his eternal prison. Didn't get the whole thing, because, fortunately, I managed to bury the entire thing, so... But, this has been going on all over the world. I don't know much about it, but just be careful.
Fair enough. We'll have to make up some rock salt slugs then.
He then imparts to you that the creature he encountered is able to turn humans into its slaves and have them command every fiber of their will.
Actually, Dale, question
Yes.
about that.
Yes?
With the magic power I have.
Does it work on servants of Gla'aki? Yes, it does.
Awesome. I like it.
If you encounter one.
Okay,
Right,
cool.
so we'll head first to Caitlin's apartment, which is where Ernest is conducting lines of inquiry. Caitlin O'Brien's boarding house is a small two-story affair with white stucco walls. The landlady, Mrs. Betsy Davis, is a plump, middle-aged woman with brown hair going grey. As you enter, your elephant gun slung over your back, clad in a pith helmet and safari khakis, she gives you a deep look, her eyes growing wide, and then she says, "Oh, my goodness, what have I done to encourage the patronage of a person such as yourself?" Ernest, what do you do?
Uh-oh. We have time trouble again.
I think he's... yes.
Mind the Australian internet, folks.
Sorry,
Discord.
I just jumped in and out again. Sorry, what was that?
As you enter the boarding house, the landlady looks up at you, her eyes wide, as she takes in your elephant gun slung over your back, your pith helmet, and your safari khakis, and she says, "My goodness, something must be afoot to encourage the patronage of someone such as you."
Oh yes. I'm here to do some investigations about the whereabouts of someone who has, I think, fallen afoul of a quarry I'm tracking.
Says, "Oh, you'd be referring to Caitlin O'Brien."
Yes. Yeah, matter of fact, yes.
She says, "Well, she hasn't been home for about a week, and I've been a bit worried about her, but I'm sorry, I can't just I can't let anybody into her room or answer any questions unless you're from the police."
See, I'm from an esteemed household, and well, I think I'd be the best chance she has of getting home safely. She's fallen afoul of something that we've encountered in the past, and we are going to go, if possible, retrieve her. So it would probably be in her best benefit if we did, and you would be rewarded, of course, for your efforts. I pull out $200 out of my pocket and
Make a credit rating check, please.
sure.
The ghost of Atlas will like a pull a knife.
Yeah.
God damn it,
Threaten her.
Atlas.
Trophy. 1D100. Hard pass.
She takes the $200 without a word, and she says, well, you certainly seem to know what you're doing. Very well, if it's in Caitlin's best interests. I do hope you find her soon. She was a very kind girl, always pays her rent on time, and... well, I sure hope that nothing horrible has happened to her.
Quite. Well,
Sorry, give me a second. Everything just fell.
She reaches under the counter and slides a key across. She says, "This is Caitlin's room key. It opens the room over there." She points at one of the doors. She says, "Is there anything I can help you with before you take a look?"
Has there been anybody else interested in her residence? Apart
Says,
from that?
Says, well, Mr. Woodruff from the newspaper came along, said he was a little worried about her, and of course she'd only been gone for a couple of days by this point, and so I brushed it off. I told him not to worry about it, but he seemed worried, and I suppose, well, I didn't assuage his worries as he put the ad out in the newspaper to find her. Says, but no one's been here asking about her. In fact, I was probably the last person to see her that morning.
Interesting. All right, you've been very helpful. I take the key and I let myself in.
Caitlin's room is compact with brown wood-panelled walls, a single bed, and a small dresser containing her clothes. There is a single photograph on the dresser of young Caitlin with an older man and woman. There's also a copy of Life magazine and a copy of the Bridgewater Independent from 2 weeks ago. Otherwise, the room is clean, tidy, and bare.
All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at the take the picture and look at the back of it, see if there's anything written on it.
You take the picture, and on the back of the picture frame, the words "Mum and Dad" are written.
Interesting. And then they don't seem to be anybody of note.
No, just likely the girl's parents.
Right. Put the picture back. I'm going to go look at the article that was. Sorry, the newspaper that was there, see if there's any interesting articles.
Do a own language check, please.
Own language.
Could be equal to your education.
Can I?
Can push it, or you can spend luck. It's up to you.
I might push it.
So you spend a bit longer in her room going over the paper in detail.
Yeah. Pass.
Nice.
Okay, so you go through both the copy of Life magazine and the newspaper and look at, in particular, some of the pages she's bookmarked. On the surface, they appear to be outrageous articles about paranormal phenomena in the Hockomock Swamp, most of it devoted to the so-called Hockomock monster, a monster that supposedly lurks in the swamp and captures travelers to sacrifice them to its god. However, you notice that the way the stories are constructed and the way they're written appear to suggest that they are highly sensationalized and perhaps only have a fragment of truth in them.
All right, I'll stash the newspaper in my rucksack. I'm gonna go have a look around her bed and her drawers.
Make a spot hidden check, please.
Can I push that?
Yes, you can.
All right. Can I spend 12 points of luck?
Yes, you can.
Cool, I will do that.
Jesus.
You spend most of an hour going over her room in close detail. Her drawers yield nothing of note, just ordinary clothing. Just ordinary clothing. None of it that's particularly noteworthy. However, under her bed, you find buried in shadow a small square-bound notebook, presumably her journal or diary.
I take it out and I'll begin to go through it.
The diary contains everyday details of her life, including her wish for better stories that will boost her career as a reporter, instead of having to constantly rewrite the same sensationalist, superstitious garbage about the swamp monster. In the last few days, her entries show her discovery of and interest in a professor living out in the swamp as a recluse, and her plans to interview him, as well as the steps she has taken to do research, including that she found some interesting details in the library, and a list of supplies she purchased at Carson's Outfitters, the general store, and of a contact within the swamp, Lucas Devlin, a fisherman who lives on the edge of a river just downstream from the lake upon which the professor lives, from whom she intends to borrow a boat. Final entry is from the morning she headed into the swamp to speak with this professor. She states her intention to write about the interview when she returns in the evening. However, she never returned to follow it up.
Interesting. I'll hold on to the diary as well. So, and there's nothing in amongst her clothes out of the ordinary?
Make another check, please.
Pass.
You notice that there's space in her closet. There's 4 full outfits and one empty clothes hanger, indicating that obviously this is what she was wearing on the day, but you have no way of telling what specifically those clothes were. However, if they're anything like the other outfits she has on display, it would be nothing more simple than a pair of slacks and a t-shirt. Not the sort of clothing you would wear if you were prepared to enter a swamp.
Interesting. Alright. So this bedroom. So this is like an apartment, yeah?
Yeah. It's a room in a boarding house.
Right, in a boarding house.
Yes.
So she doesn't have much in here apart from that.
No. Doesn't appear to be anything else of note within the room.
Alright. I will was I given any contact information regarding who I've seen on that floor?
No, but you do have a name. So when you head into the swamp, at least you'll know that's the person you're looking for. Or you'll be able to ask around. As you leave the room, landlady looks up at you and she says, I hope you found something of use.
Yes, it's been rather illuminating.
She says, is there anything else I can help you with?
Anybody else comes here, will you please drop me a dime? And I hand her a card that has the information of where I'm staying at the moment.
Yep. She says, the motel. Yes. Okay, I'll give you a call if anybody inquires as to Caitlin's whereabouts. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Now proceed to the Bridgewater Public Library, where Professor Longfellow has decided to conduct some research. Bridgewater Public Library is a modern building with electric lights and a telephone booth outside. It is a brick building of only 1 story, but it is spread out to cover a lot of ground. Inside, there are sections for periodicals, reference materials, and non-fiction, in addition to a vast library of works of fiction and horror. Assistant librarian, who, according to her name tag, is named Lila Clark, is a tall woman of about 30 years old with dark hair and glasses. She dresses conservatively with a long skirt reaching nearly to the floor. As you enter the library, she's standing at the end of one of the shelves, transferring books from a library cart into the shelf. She looks at you and smiles.
Greetings. I was wondering if you might be able to help me.
She says, oh, yes, of course. Anything in particular you're looking for?
I've come to help with the search for the missing woman. I was wondering if you knew what it was that she had come here to research.
He says, yes, Miss O'Brien from the paper. Yes, she came in here the morning before she went to the swamp, and she spent quite a lot of time amongst the Miskatonic University periodicals. She points over to one of the nearby shelves. She says, oh, well, I could help you find what you're looking for, but I'm busy at the moment, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, that's quite alright. Do you know if she checked anything out when she left?
Says, oh, yes, I could have a quick look. She stands up, walks over to the front desk, and begins to flip through a notebook. She says, yes, she took out a book, and it was a collection of writings by a Professor Simon Hodges. It was entitled On Experimental Biology.
I see. Are there any other books that relate to this particular line of inquiry?
She says, well, don't think we have any more writings of that professor, but if you look amongst the periodicals that Caitlin was spent time reading, I'm sure this Professor Hodges would likely show up in a few of them.
Yes, you're quite right. Much obliged. I shall go ahead and have a look and see what I can find.
He smiles and then goes back to placing books in the shelf. Make a library use check, please.
Come on, no 100.
Oh, yes. Very, very, very good. You head over to the aisle the woman directed you to, and most of this shelf is devoted to Miskatonic University periodicals from a variety of disciplines. It's not as complete as, say, the library at a university in Boston would be, but there's a surprisingly large amount of works here. You spend an hour and a half or so going through all the papers, trying to find any that could be attributed or related to this Professor Simon Hodge. Find quite a lot of information. Simon Hodges was born in 1979 in Boston. He attended Miskatonic University as an undergraduate 1997 to 1901, and then attended Harvard Medical School from 1901 to 1905. He married a woman named Eloise Martin and had 2 sons by her, Simon Hodges Jr. and Edgar Hodges. His wife died in childbirth with the second son, Edgar. In 1905, Simon Hodges was hired by Miskatonic University as a professor of medicine and biology. He soon became tenured. However, in late 1917, disillusioned with the state of the world, he took a sabbatical and moved to a cabin he purchased on an island in the middle of a lake in the Hockomock Swamp. In early 1918, he notified the university that he would not be returning from his sabbatical and left its employment entirely. Last mention of Simon Hodges you find is in a newspaper article from August 24th, 1918. His son, Simon Jr., had been killed in an alligator attack while saving the life of his brother Edgar. The body was never recovered.
Always so much easier when there's order.
Yes.
I don't really know what to do with that, so I'll just take that information as it is.
You wish to summarize it? You write it down in your notepad.
Bad shit happened.
Yes. Would you like to conduct a science check for me, please?
Science?
Sure can. No 100s. Extreme.
You go through some of the other periodicals and you're able to determine, at the very least, the topic of Professor Hodges' research. In that his particular area of research was in experimental biology, which he defined as biological techniques that were unknown to mainstream medicine, using foreign substances to enhance and heal the human body.
Is there any mention of what those foreign substances were?
No.
Mighty suspicious.
Yes. Very much indeed suspicious.
Are there any recordings of the results of those experiments?
You find an article stating that he never actually publicly published any results of his experiments, though one of his proposed experiments apparently drew quite some ire from his colleagues at Miskatonic University, which may have been one of the reasons why he departed the university.
Alrighty, I'll jot that down as well.
And that appears to be anything you could find in the library. Bid farewell to the attendant, and she smiles at you, and you head back out onto the streets. Now go to Carson's Outfitters, where Tom Selleck and Ron Constantine have decided to conduct their lines of inquiry. Carson's Outfitters is the recommended supply store in Bridgewater for anyone heading out into the Hockomock Swamp. It is a long, low building in the style of a Native American longhouse. Tall people have to duck when entering the front door. Jeremiah Carson, the proprietor, is in his 40s, his hair just starting to go grey, but he is still spry, fit, and muscular. He wears a sturdy brown leather jacket and blue denim overalls underneath over a white shirt. As you enter, the bell tingles. He chuckles and heartily says, "Ah, another group of explorers about to head out into the swamp, eh? Jeremiah Carson, at your service."
Not quite explorer's friend. I flashing my badge and going, we're here investigating the disappearance of Kelly.
Of Caitlin.
Caitlin, that's it. Yep.
Make a law check, please.
Hard law check. He said the wrong name.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
what?
just a law check. Just a law check.
Oh, just the law check, okay. That is... What's my law at? That is a pass.
He says, "Oh, well, yes, she was in here about a week ago, stocked up on supplies for her trip down into the swamp. I can tell you what she purchased if you like."
That would be very helpful.
He says, "Well, look," he says, she basically asked me what I'd recommend, so I set her up with the necessities, a compass, a backpack, some hiking boots, a map of the swamp, trail rations, a torch, a length of rope. Tried to sell her a gun as well." He points towards a rack besides the counter where
yes.
an array of
Nice
hunting
rack.
rifle where an array of hunting rifles, hunting shotguns, and boxes of ammunition are proudly displayed. Reckons she wasn't expecting to run into any trouble, so she politely declined. Said she was gonna get help in the swamp. Some fisherman that she was getting cozy with, I think.
Lust is also a terrible sin.
It is.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, sorry, go on. I'll try to think of what I was going to say.
Says, "Hell," he says, "I can remember what she was wearing, too, if it's of any help to you."
Oh, that would be...
Envy is not so pleasant either.
He says, "Well,
Yes.
I wouldn't forget this."
Yes.
He says, "I wouldn't forget the sight of a girl like that. She had on blue jeans and a red t-shirt, and she had this little gray scarf on. I remember this because I was trying to sell her a nice coat and pair of hiking boots. She bought the boots, but didn't think she'd need the coat."
She wouldn't need a coat to go out to the swamp.
Through the gates of hell, as we may
He's
come
from the city. He
hell.
doesn't understand how nature works.
He shrugs and he says, "Those city folk, they're all the same. Think you'll be fine walking out there with just a t-shirt, pair of pants, and you're drowning in the swamp, and you wish you bought the things the shopkeeper
Alright, one second,
told you
sorry.
to buy."
1 second, sorry. Mortis Invictus, thank you so much for the follow, buddy.
You're quite welcome, mate.
Oh, that was you. Oh, fuck off, Dale. Fuck off. Sorry, go on.
Anything else anything you wish to ask him?
Yeah, okay, we've got clothes, we've got shit, we've got the look like, yeah.
Do you know anything suspicious about the swamps? Never mind if they sound silly.
He shrugs and he says, "Oh, well, hell, it's the sole reason people come to these parts, because they want to see some of the weird shit for themselves." He says, "Where do I begin? The aliens from outer space, the Indian curse, the ghosts, the killer alligators, the possessed wolf packs, the swamp monster."
Swamp monster. Tell me more about the swamp monster.
This triggers something in my head going, yeah, I know what's going on here.
He says, "Well, the swamp monster, well, it's sort of a weird one. You see, swamp monster, well, there's always been superstitions about this swamp, but the swamp monster, I only really heard people talking about him going back about 10 years. Anyway, supposedly he lurks in the swamp, lurks underwater, waits for people to cross over the lake or the river, ambushes them and drags them away to sacrifice to his spooky god."
Oh yes, the spooky god.
You wouldn't happen to know about what its spooky god would happen to be? Or the god's name in question?
Says, hell, take your pick. We've heard people say they're going to the reticulum. Heard people say they're going to the ghost of Sitting Bull. I've heard some of them mention this other name, Gla'aki.
That would be the one.
Just you see Tom just starting to twitch a little bit.
Says just a load of local horse shit, of course.
Yeah, shit. You believe whatever helps you sleep at night, so.
Yeah.
Shrugs and he says,
not trying to frighten him, but we just not convince him, but we just retell stories of stuff that he might question himself later.
Okay, make a persuade check, please.
Wait, do I even have persuade?
May not. It's half your appearance if you don't.
Okay, well, what's my appearance at? That is a pass then. We're just on a pass.
You tell him selected highlights from your encounter several months ago. He listens and the look on his face is something dark, something disturbed, and perhaps a little fearful, but then he brushes it away with his hand and laughs it off and says, yeah, hell, that's quite some story, pal.
Yeah, story or not. No, never helps 2 days. Always helps these days. Just stay on your toes no matter what. Human beings or otherwise.
He says, well, hell, look, if you're heading into the swamp, I'd recommend you, at the very minimum, take at least what I sold the girl.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna be getting some rope. Rope is...
Do you have any salt?
Any salt?
Says salt? Yeah, sure. Good for trail rations. Not sure how much use it'll be against a swamp monster.
Doesn't matter. I just like as much salt as I can get from you.
He's a bit of a salty person.
He slowly stacks on the counter a compass, a map of the swamp, a length of rope, a lantern, and a large restaurant-sized bag of sea salt.
Yes.
Says, well,
do you happen to have any empty shotgun shells?
Ooh, I see where you're getting at this.
Says empty ones. Says, have a look for yourself, and if you see him, tell me. I just put on what the stockman brings in. Make a firearms shotguns check, please.
Firearm shotgun. That is a hard pass.
You see a box of shells on the rack that have yet to be filled with black powder.
Chuck them up on the counter. Taking them with me.
He says, I guess that'll get you sorted out there in the swamp. That'll be $15 for the lot.
Yeah. For it all.
I know the value of rope from my last adventures. I'd like to buy another bit of rope.
Yep. Okay.
So,
$16.
Quickly, can you list off what we got sold?
So
right down.
You've got a compass, 2 lengths of rope, a map of the swamp, a lantern, a big bag of salt, and 25 unfilled shotgun shells.
Cool. Got all that. Just carry a rope each.
Rope each. Lantern's a big camping lantern, so it should be fine for an entire party.
Well, actually, TARDIS trench coat. I could fit it all.
Yes, you can. Who's paying the $16?
I'm happy to pay the $16.
Jeremiah takes the money and he puts it in the cash register. The cash register shuts with a ting, and he says, well, thank you very much. You see his left eye twitch a little bit, and he says, and I'll suppose I'll have a lot to think about tonight when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Before we go, I'll give him another $4 to shout him something to drink to put his mind at
No,
ease
he
for the
doesn't
night.
need a drink. He needs a nice cup of tea.
I think he needs a drink after what you just
Alright,
told him.
let me just explain that to people in the chat. To explain the whole tea thing, it's now a running gag thing. Tom's previous characters like to sit down with a nice cup of tea, and it actually increased the SAN, and it's just become a running joke now. Just sit down and enjoy a nice cup of tea.
Not that it stopped him becoming a cultist.
He's just a very a cultist full of sanity. He knows what he do.
Tea.
Yeah, you hand over a couple more bucks and you tell him to go get a drink. Liam, I want you to roll a 1d6, please.
Oh, okay.
I'll just roll it, please.
That's a 1.
Alright, that's fine. As you leave, you notice nothing odd about the shopkeeper. I was rolling to see if your story made him go insane and whether he was gonna shoot himself.
Oh
later that
no!
I was gonna say, I swear to God, if he goes on the rampage.
Please tell me
he is fine.
Oh,
he's a little bit unsettled, but he'll be
Oh,
fine.
Jesus Christ!
It's better off to let the mere mortals not see behind the curtain.
Oh no, I feel really bad.
You should do. You nearly sent him insane.
Your group reconvenes at the edge of town just after lunchtime. You sit down in the car park beside Ernest's car and Tom Sullick's brand new cruiser, and you make a meager lunch of biscuits and trail rations and
I pack some rock salt shells.
Yes, make a firearm guns check, please.
Oh, can I push that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, come on!
No.
Okay, in the process, you ruin most of the shells. Roll a 1d6, please. So you managed to get 4 functioning shells out of the batch. You spilled all of the salt and damaged some of the other shells in the process, and you hope these 4 will be enough.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Anything you guys would like to discuss before you head out into the swamp?
I choose not to tell the other guys how I might have made the shopkeeper a little bit crazy.
Ernest, anything you'd like to prepare with? Anything you'd like to do to make sure your gun is ready to go and your...
Yes, I would like to make sure I have a full stock of ammunition, and I would like to purchase camping wares, some canned foods, the sort of things, all in my...
Make a credit ratings check, please.
Actually, you know what? Screw it.
Can I push that?
Yes, you can.
Lol. I'll pass.
You head to the general store and you make Jeremiah's day by spending $50 on a variety of canned foods, ammunition, and other miscellaneous camping supplies for yourself and the other members of the expedition.
Oh no, he would probably... You're just buying this for yourself, aren't you?
Yes.
For his mosquito tent, yes.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. I want to go and buy some camping supplies. I'm going to sleep in comfort, damn it.
All right, make a credit ratings check, please.
What's my credit rating? Where's my credit rating? Can I push that?
Yes, you can.
Oh my god, yes, just 51. Hell yes, pass.
Jeremiah offers to sell you a 3-man tent for $15.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I just want to apologize to him, so I give him an extra 10.
He takes it and he says, well, at least I'll be too drunk to think tonight. Now, is there any? I'm assuming you're going to all share all the information you discovered in your various lines of inquiry. Is there any particular information that you would not like to share?
No, I will be forthcoming with everything that I have.
Good. I
I'm
won't
not
have to
gonna
wonder
withhold any
about putting a
information.
bullet in your head all campaign again.
Yeah, same here. I mentioned to the others that the name Gla'aki has been mentioned by the shopkeeper.
Ah, wonderful. We're
And
back
that you
on the-
know what she's wearing. Yep,
Yes.
you're back against Gla'aki.
Oh yeah, because
Right.
that's not creepy at all.
Giant slug monster.
No, I meant the part where we know what she's wearing.
Oh.
Oh yeah, well, you know, it's something useful to have.
I know what she's not wearing. Is everything else in her wardrobe?
Before you head into the Hockomock Swamp, you consult the map that Jeremiah sold to you, and you determine that you'll need to venture about 2 miles into the swamp to reach the fisherman's cabin where Lucas Devlin, Caitlin's contact, lives. His cabin is situated on the edge of a small river that flows into the lake upon which Professor Hodges lives. It should be a short journey of about 2 hours, provided you don't lose your way. But as you have the compass and an experienced tracker with you, it should be easy.
Keyword
So I would like, if anyone has navigate. Does anyone have navigate?
I have 50.
I don't have navigate. I do have tracking and
No, I don't.
spot hidden and survive.
Right,
Wait, didn't Matt say he has navigation?
I
Yeah.
want Ernest to make a hard tracking check, and I want Ron Constantine to make a navigation check.
Would it be with advantage because I do have the compass
With
and the map?
Yep, with advantage because you have the
Nice.
compass and map.
Oh,
Oh.
thank God, advantage.
Can I spend that 1 point of luck?
Yep,
Awesome.
you can do that.
Oh my God.
I won't spend the 3 points of luck. I'll just fail that.
You as you enter the swamp, the sounds of the town are immediately drowned out. You immediately feel oppressive atmosphere, like as if the energy of the swamp itself is bearing down upon you, and it pretty much is, because the trees here are gnarled and twisted. They almost block out the sunlight with their canopy as they all intertwixt amongst each other. You wade through ankle-length swamp water. You have to brush aside vines and undergrowth. You even have to hack away some old branches at one point. Not once do you hear or see anything to do with this elusive swamp monster, but still you cannot shake the oppressive feeling of foreboding that seems to pervade everywhere in this swamp.
Hey Dale, I'm just popping out for a couple of minutes. I'll be back shortly.
I would like everybody to make a spot hidden check, please.
That is a hard pass.
That's a normal pass.
Pass.
Pass, yep. About 40 minutes into the journey, as you're wading through a large body of waist-high water, you look around and you see a glimmer of something in the sky above. You see what looks like a blue light flashing, zooming across the night sky before vanishing behind a cloud. It would look like, to anyone in our world, it would look like the lights of an aeroplane traveling in the early evening, except for the fact that it's 1925 and commercial airlines do not exist.
That wouldn't be one of the crystals, would it?
Maybe, maybe not. Sanity check. Everyone
But
who saw
before
it,
we
please.
do the sanity check, can I use my occult knowledge to see if I recognize it?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
you
can I
can.
use a mythos check as well?
Yes, you can.
That is, I'm spending the 9 points.
That is a pass for me.
Okay, so Ron Constantine, you've heard of these so-called phantom lights. It's very unusual that they would be clearly visible during the day. They usually, in your experience, show up at night when people are driving alone down the highway, and you recognize it as the same phantom lights that occur in tales of flying saucers and visitors from outer space. Liam, did you pass your Cthulhu Mythos
Yes.
check?
Barely, but I did.
You recognize the hue of the blue light. It is the same blue light that emanated from the crystal you encountered months ago.
Another question, sorry. Drake in the YouTube chat is asking what kind of cruiser did I buy?
It's defined by the book as a brand new luxury car. So, given that it's the 1920s, I want to say like a convertible Rolls Royce or something with an open top Rolls Royce or something like that.
Well, there you go, Drake.
Dim $2,000. You recognize the blinking light as being similar color to the light of the crystal you encountered months ago. However, the fact that it is zooming across the sky fills you with a feeling of dread. I would like Professor Longfellow and Ron Constantine to make I would like all three of you to make SAN checks, please.
Yep. Oh my god, that is a hard critical pass. That's a 3.
Okay. Ron Constantine and Professor Longfellow, you lose no SAN. However, Tom Selleck, you lose 1d3 SAN.
Oh, fuck off.
Because you understand what might actually be going on.
Exactly. You made a connection between the crystal and those lights. That's never a good time.
Roll 1d3.
Also, I reckon I found the perfect car for your cruiser to be.
Yeah?
1925 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Look at the lines on that baby.
Alright, do you want to put a picture of it in the chat?
The chat, yep, so we can all see.
So I just lose 1 SAN, nothing else happens?
Just 1 SAN.
Okay.
Then continue on through the silent yet eerily alive swamp, pushing through the gnarled trees and the grasping undergrowth, wincing as the water soaks into your socks and shoes.
My new goddamn shoes.
Waiting to see your boots. Just waiting to see the picture of the car before we...
How do I add the picture?
The little plus symbol.
Press the little plus button.
Perfect. Little plus button, and I want to go to pictures, and I want a picture of the Rolls Royce.
Oh my god,
yes.
that's sexy right there. That is
that's
sex.
Call me an autophiliac.
2,000. Yeah, I'd fuck that car.
Right in the exhaust.
That car's not pretty anymore.
Okay. After traveling about another 30 minutes, something else disturbing occurs. Trees suddenly grow more gnarled, and the canopy seems to form a solid roof of growth above you. The sky begins to grow dark, as if the sun has set on a moonless night. All of you perform listen checks, please.
That is, I'm pretty sure, a fail. It is a fail.
That is a pass.
You need half the people to pass, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just seeing how many pass.
Well, can I push it?
Yes, you can if you wish.
And no, that's a fail. Shit.
All right. Yeah, you don't hear anything. Ron Constantine, as you press further into this shadowy place, you hear the sounds of something running fast through the undergrowth, but before you get a chance to look, everything suddenly goes dark, pitch black, as if it's a moonless night. Sanity checks for everyone, please.
I just pull out the lantern.
That's a pass.
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 Pass. Yep. Okay.
I'll pull out the lantern.
Okay, ready my gun.
While he pulls out the lantern, I want Professor and Tom Selleck to make spot hidden checks, please.
That is a hard pass.
That's an extreme pass for me.
Oh, damn.
As Ron fumbles the lantern and begins to light it, you see movement in the corner of your eye. Something about 2 to 3 feet tall, circling you in this dark part of the swamp.
2 to 3 feet.
2 to 3 feet tall.
Oh my
circling
God.
you.
I'm back.
Yep. Okay, Tom, you're back. I'd like you to first of all make a Cthulhu Mythos check.
I'll spend 2 luck. That's a pass.
Okay. Right. So while you were walking through the swamp, the group noticed a blinking blue light zoom across the sky, like a UFO. And thanks to your Cthulhu Mythos knowledge, you realize that the hue of this light is really similar to that of the crystal you encountered some months ago, and the fact that it's zooming through the sky fills you with dread. Now, sand check, please.
Wonderful. That's a fail.
Okay, lose 1d8 sand, please.
Oof.
It's 1 point.
Okay.
That's fine for that. And then he has to roll again because of the darkness.
Yep. Then, traveling further into the swamp.
That's a fail on that one as well.
So that is a 1d3, please.
Two. So you lose 3 total.
Trees grow gnarlier and more intertwined as the sky is suddenly blotted out and all is thrust into darkness like pitch black of a moonless night. The party has just heard something running in the undergrowth. Liam and Dylan have spotted something moving about 2 to 3 feet tall, circling around the party. And Matt is currently striking a match on the lantern.
All right. I'll draw my rifle and fire at the moving figure.
Right. Okay. Matt, what's your dex?
My dexterity.
My dex is 60.
60. Right. When what's Matt's?
60, but my dodge is higher.
Yeah. Okay. I just want both of you to roll a D100, please.
Oh,
Wait.
This isn't a skill check. Just
I lost the Discord window. 58.
right. So as Ron strikes a match and begins to light the lantern, you're not taking any chances. You raise your rifle and fire at the moving figure. A hard firearms check, please.
I'm gonna get shot, aren't I?
That is a hard pass.
Nice.
Doesn't sound like it.
Bang! Fire your gun. You hear the sound of your bullet hitting something. You hear a splash as something heavy falls into the water, and then you hear the pitter-patter of faster footsteps running through the undergrowth. Make a spot hidden check, please.
Fail.
You don't see anything in the darkness, but it's okay because then the match is struck, and in the lantern light.
Did you want me to roll damage?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll
With the
damage.
size of your gun and a 2 to 3 foot person, I'm pretty much sure they're just.
Well, let's
You never
say
do
halfway.
know. What
Sorry,
if he just took off
give
an
me a
ear?
Ooh,
That's a
18
lot of damage.
That's more than enough to kill
That's
whatever
a lot
you
of
hit.
damage.
Whatever you hit
I swear,
is
if this is something good again, dear God.
it's another random
Pretty sure I'm
these
dead
kids
right
in
now.
the swamp. The match is struck, and as the lantern light fills the area around you, you notice that in a circle surrounding the party is a pack of unusually large black dogs, their eyes seeming to glow in the flickering lantern light. They're all snarling, their teeth bared, and whatever hope you had of passing them undetected is gone,
Oh,
as they
okay.
have now been provoked.
Oh no!
And en masse, dogs makes a beeline for your group.
How many are there?
Okay, at least 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, fuck
Is there
off.
a corpse of one around?
It went in the water.
It's fallen in the water. You notice a misshapen thing lying in the water, which is presumably the dog you blew away.
The shards of what's left.
I can't.
Um,
I can't dominate dogs, can I?
No, you can't.
Shit.
Okay, so what are your dex values?
60.
My dex
60.
is
60,
Mine's 40.
70.
40, 70. Okay. Right. Dogs rush at you. Rush at the person who fired the gun. Ernest, you may make a dodge or a fighting check.
What's as in unarmed?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make the unarmed. That is a pass.
3, 9. Raise your arms, and as the dog leaps towards you, you hold out your gun and your arms. You push it away as its teeth graze the skin of your arm. Take 3 points of damage as the dog lands back in the swampy water. 4 of the dogs back up and begin barking and growling, while another dog fixes its eyes firmly on luck. What is your luck values, guys?
35.
45.
53.
And Matt's won't be below 50, so...
Another dog fixes its glowing, hungry eyes on Professor Longfellow and leaps at him. Would you like to make a dodge or a fighting check?
Oh, I suppose I'll try a dodge.
All right, let's.
That's fail.
Dog leaps on you and pushes you down, splash into the swamp water. The dog begins viciously mauling you, biting into your chest.
Whoa.
Take 4 points of damage and a bleeding. Okay, Liam, you're up. What do you do?
There's no way we can get out of this, is there?
Well, you can think of. You could fire, hope to kill them in time. You can try to run, although they'll probably catch up to you.
Yes. Are there any trees around?
Yeah, they're everywhere, gnarled together, bent over, twisting amongst each other.
You know what, screw it, okay, yeah, it's fight time,
I mean, there is a chance that if we kill enough of them, they'll just run away.
Yeah,
Yes.
I fire.
Because they might just be random wild animals.
Yeah, fire.
That is correct.
Fire my magnum.
Make
At-
a firearms at any of the dog that's hit. Are you gonna fire it?
Shit.
Are you going to fire at the ones away? The one that had just attacked?
Oh yeah, the one that attacked you.
Okay, good.
The one that's got him pinned to the ground. Yes.
You know, the one that I would very much like
That
to
is
kill.
a critical pass.
Yay!
Right. Roll for damage and double it, please.
Yeah. Okay, shit, what was it again? 1d10. That's 4 plus a d. Oh, I don't have a d4, so I had to roll it here. Roll 1.
I really hope the music
Oh.
isn't a sign of what's about to happen, because it's very somber.
So what?
Somber.
So that's
Indeed.
4 plus. Was it plus 2? Yeah, that's 6.
Yep.
And double it. Okay.
So 12
12,
altogether. Boom! Fire your magnum. Dog's head explodes and its headless body rolls into the swampy water, allowing Professor to climb back to his feet. Okay. Let's go to Ron Constantine. Your turn.
Alright. I'm going to shoot one with my shotgun.
Right. Firearms check, please.
Oh, can I push that?
Yes, you can
Oh my
push it
god!
if you like.
Come on! Oh,
Yeah!
thank fuck!
Boom.
Ooh,
Roll for damage, please.
that could have been awkward.
Yep. Especially if you fail again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the shotgun would have exploded in my hands.
Yep.
It's an old gun.
20.
Oh dear God!
Oh, yeah. That dog instantly before you is reduced to a red paste.
What dog?
Dog that the one that he shot at that was
No,
attacking.
Yeah,
seriously,
what
what dog? All I
I
said
always
was
say
Fairy
paste.
blood.
It's red paste now,
Hmm.
leaving 3 dogs that are barking and growling furiously. Okay, we go to Ernest von Schaff.
I take aim at the one that tried to maul me, and I'm going to put a bullet in it.
Firearms check, please.
That is a pass.
Roll for damage.
nice.
15.
15. Boom. It's not quite reduced to red paste, but there's a dog with a large hole in it that splashes into the muddy water. And now it is Professor's turn. Professor, I'd like you to begin your turn by doing a spot hidden check.
Oh.
That is a pass.
As the 2 dogs before you growl and drool hungrily, you notice 6 more sets of glowing red eyes
Oh.
just beyond the trees.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck off.
I see.
How
How far away did you say that tree was again? How
It's
far?
about-
Okay,
you could run to it, but there's a chance you'll get caught if you run to it.
yeah. How far away are these new eye sets from the ones that were already in
It'll
combat
take
with?
them. It'll take them another. It'll take them a bit to get to you.
Okay. Then well, since I didn't have time to prepare my weapon before I got knocked to the ground, I suppose I had to spend my turn to do that.
Right, make a dex check, please.
Are we gonna die this early?
Hard pass.
Run, and one of the dogs begins running towards you. You make your way through the water and reach for an overhanging branch. You grab hold of it and you pull yourself up. The dog begins scrabbling at the tree trunk below you.
I'm not real sure how this works in terms of time, but can I yell to them that there's more coming as I
Yes,
do
you
this?
can. Yes, you can.
Then I shall do that. Gentlemen, there are more dogs on the way. I suggest you take cover.
Well, shit!
At this point, the dog, scrambling to get to you, rushes towards the nearest person, Tom Selleck. Make a dodge or a fighting check, please.
Okay, what have I got? What's my higher? Dodge is higher. That is a hard pass.
swerve to the right as the dog leaps at you. He splashes into the water. There's a pitter-patter of running feet and another couple of splashes as 3 more large black dogs make their way out of the undergrowth and begin growling, their eyes fixated upon you, glowing red as embers. Liam, I would like you at this point to make a intelligence check.
Oh, Jesus. That is a... barely a pass. Like, just on the dot.
You notice that one of the dogs, the one that just tried to pounce at you, is slightly larger than the others.
Ah, so the pack leader, eh?
And as you decide what to do, one of the other dogs barks, and in one fell complete movement, the 3 new dogs begin sprinting through the water at you. I would like Matt, Tom, and Liam to do dodge checks, please.
That is
As
a crit
in
pass.
Tom the person or Tom the character?
Tom, the person.
But that is
Ernest, the character.
a crit pass for me.
That is a pass.
Okay. Ernest and Tom Selleck, you manage to duck, raise your hands, whatever it takes to stop the dogs pinning you. However, the largest dog, the pack leader, leaps and pins Ron Constantine to the ground.
But I pass.
But he got a hard pass.
He passed
Oh.
harder.
Pins you to the ground and with a howl and a snarl begins to claw at you with his sharp claws. You
Great, I'm gonna get torn apart again. Fucking
take-
hell.
take 4 points of damage. Liam, it is your turn.
Yeah, aim the magnum and just unload into the pack leader.
Question: does my trench coat actually reduce damage, or
Yes.
we just?
Yeah, you took 5, I reduced it to 4.
Okay, cool.
Liam, which dog are you going to shoot at?
The pack leader.
Right. Make a firearms check, please.
Oh, that's a 5.
That's going to be hard to beat.
Ooh, yeah. All right, roll damage and triple it, please.
Okay. Wait, triple it. Oh.
DM's being nice. Really wants you to kill that dog,
Yeah, no, he just wants us to survive. D10. Crap, with my D10.
Wouldn't be the first time he's done us that favor.
Yep. Okay, that's a 7 plus a D4 plus 2. Okay. Roll 1D4. So 9 plus 2.
9
that's
damage.
9 triplets.
9 plus 2 is 11, so 33, I guess, technically.
Holy shit!
Or does it just triple the rolls and not the
No,
plus?
triple the damage.
Cool, so 33 damage.
Boom! Constantine happens to be right next to you, so all you need to do is point your gun into the dog's eye and pull the trigger. Instantly, there is a terrible, ear-scraped yelp.
Jesus.
Like all the dogs screeching in pain in unison. And then the smaller dogs turn tail and begin running back into the copse of trees.
All right.
Here,
One second. Sorry, something just happened on my stream notification. The alert box didn't go off, but I heard the sound, and I forget what sound that's for. And Streamlabs is not identifying what it was. Dale, did you do something on my stream?
No.
I mean, not Dale, Dylan.
Which
He
one?
didn't subscribe to you.
Yeah,
Oh, you subscribed to me. Well, thank you for
Oh,
subscribing.
that's what the sound is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did subscribe, Kitty did. Tier 1.
The alert box didn't show up, so I don't know what it was.
When you sub, you get Kim going, "In the gates to hell."
No,
Oh.
when you subscribe on Twitch, you get community gift with going, "I'm a cat. I'm a sexy cat."
Oh, yes.
Through the gates of
I
hell,
have subbed on
Here-
neither.
as we may cut
Hear
away
the
to
pitter
heaven.
patter of the dogs retreating, and then within a few minutes, there is silence. almost as quickly as the darkness converged upon you, it now dissipates, and what sunlight is able to penetrate the canopy of the gnarled swamp fills the area, allowing you to see clearly once again.
So we can see clearly now the dogs are gone.
We can see all the obstacles in our way.
Around you lie the gnarled, twisted trees of the swamp and the red, muddied water beneath you, filled with the blood of the strange dogs which lie dead, scattered around clearing.
Alright, I'm gonna try bullshit a medical to try heal Professor.
Alright. First aid.
I've got decent first aid. I can try and heal myself.
Yeah, go ahead. First aid checks.
Okay,
Anyone who wishes to heal.
That's a
Oh, that is a critical.
It's a critical. Okay, you
critical
gain
heal.
1d3 experience. You gain 1d3 HP. Experience.
Uh,
1d3.
Experience.
I don't have first aid. Is a 19 count?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
That's 1 HP for Liam and Matt.
Oh no, I'm healing Dylan.
Oh, yep. Okay, so that's 1 HP that he gains.
Well, thank you.
Ernest von Schaff, did you pass your first aid check?
No, I did not.
Fortunately, you didn't pass it.
Just a quick question: is this still technically the same day?
Yes, it is.
I'll try first aid on myself.
You can go ahead. Oh, that's nearly a pass. You can spend luck on it.
No. I don't have enough luck.
Guys,
Nowhere near enough luck.
guys, bandage up your wounds. Bandage up the professor's wounds as best you can.
And
hope that-
once we're done bandaging up our wounds, can I do an occult check on the dogs to see if I recognize them?
Yes, you can.
Would it be worth it if I done a mythos check as well?
Oh, can I push it?
Yes, but I will say that in
Caution
this
against
case, a failure might be dangerous.
That's pass.
That's a
I was gonna
fail
say,
for my
remember that
mythos.
porcupine?
Okay, would anyone else like to do anything with the dogs?
Well, that's a fail for my mythos.
Ernest, would you like to do anything? Would you like to do anything with the dead
I'd
dog?
like to examine the corpse of the male, the alpha.
Alpha male, okay. I'd like you to roll a natural world check, please.
62. Natural world. Actually, surprisingly, I don't have that. I should have that. I'll grab that at some point. But no, I do not pass.
Would you like to? In that case, would you? Yeah, that's fine. You don't find. We'll
What
wait
about
and see what
survival?
happens.
I'll.
Okay, try a hard survival check.
Hard survival. That is unfortunately not hard.
I'll have a look at the wolves, see if I can see anything.
Attempt a hard survival check or a natural world check if you have it.
I will do natural world. That is a pass.
Okay, I'll just. Right. So first of all, Ron Constantine, you look over one of the dogs and you based on their black fur and the way their eyes glowed red, you can only think of the tales of hellhounds, perhaps the possessed dogs that are whispered of in these parts.
I wish to take out my machete and slit the belly of the large beast. I
Right?
want to check the contents of its stomach to see what it has been eating.
First of all, I'll describe what Professor finds as he examines one of the dogs, because he passed his natural world check. Black fur is unusual for wild dogs. It's usually a mottled grey. There's something slightly odd about their facial structure. It's thinner, more pointed than usual, and these do not resemble any species of wild canine that you are aware of.
Hmm.
Right.
What about wild lupine?
Yeah, wild lupine. It does. They are more wolf-like than dog-like, but they still don't resemble wild wolves.
Excellent.
Due to the pitch black fur.
Yeah.
Okay, Ernest, you retrieve your knife, and you go to slash open the belly. I'd like you to do a hard spot hidden check, please.
Fail.
As you reach down to cut open the dog's carcass, you fail to notice the small shudders of movement it produces. The dog's carcass is moving, or rather, something inside the dog is moving.
Oh no.
You slash open the belly. Slash open the belly, and you have just enough time to see something black and slimy lash out at you. Make a hard dodge check, please.
Oh no.
Critical
I'd
pass.
say that's probably a pass.
Critical.
Leap out of the way as a large, black, mottled tentacle extends from the beast's belly and lashes at you. It's unable to hit you, but the tip of the tentacle wraps around your left wrist. You feel something sting underneath like an insect bite, and you take one point of...
Even with a critical pass?
No.
Yes. You feel something sting, like an insect bite. You take no damage. However, you take no damage, however, but you feel a painful sting, and then the tentacle lets go and drops lifeless to the floor.
Right. This is the equivalent of a facehugger. Right, shoot him.
Well, no. I'm going to see if he tells us that he got stung or not first.
I'm not going to mention I got stung.
Of course you're not.
Nope.
You're the worst kind of survivor.
I'm gonna.
you,
Can I use spot hidden to just notice that he's been stung?
Hard or critical pass, I would say, given he's trying to hide it.
And also considering I did critically pass my dodge check, and still
Yes.
somehow went with stung.
Yes. What you did with your critical dodge, you avoided... Okay, so the normal dodge pass would prevent you being grappled, and the hard or higher prevented you from taking the lashing damage. Okay.
So fucked either way.
And I'd like you to make a sand check, please. No, he's not fucked.
No, any of those rolls, he would have been.
You've gotten a one, maybe.
Fail my sand check.
Right, I'd like you to lose 1d6 sand, please.
Oof.
That's some strong psychotropic poison you've got there.
I'm on shrooms.
Yeah.
4 points.
Not
4
insane.
points. Then, after the tentacle has lashed at you and dropped lifeless to the ground, you look inside the incision you made on the dog, and you find that while its organs still appear to be intact, they look weak, malnourished, almost pale, and the inside of the dog is filled with a strange, yellowish, foul-smelling substance with a gooey consistency.
Interesting.
Alrighty.
I can pull with mythos back.
Yes, you can do a mythos check.
Right, I'll be back. I just have to quickly go to the toilet.
Can I do an occult check on it?
Oh yeah, you can come over and do an occult check. Was that a pass on the mythos
I
check?
know, fail.
Alright, okay. All you know is that it may be similar to the thing to the substance from Gla'aki's spines, but it's not the same. Meanwhile, Ron Constantine comes over and has
You're
a
like
look-
really muffled right now.
Sorry. Ron Constantine comes over and examines the goo, and you can't tie it in particular to any occult myth, but You believe that the substance may be functioning as a type of blood replacement for the dog.
I was going to say, I was going to do medical on the organs and chemistry on the goo, but if he already knows that it's that.
He just suspects. If you want,
Fair
you
enough.
can take a sample and have a look.
I would like to grab a stick and have a look at the goo.
Yep. Right, chemistry first.
Yeah, I'll roll my chemistry first. That is a pass.
You take a small sample of the goo and you examine it. You can tell that it appears to be organic, some sort of secretion from a creature. It's not acidic. You could touch it just fine, and it reminds you of sort of like it has the same consistency as blood, which backs up Constantine's theory that it's performing the same function as blood, but it's not quite the same. The color is obviously wrong, and you'd need to have a detailed look in a lab if you were to determine any of its chemical components.
I'll try and secret away a little sample of that.
Now conduct
Is it more like clotted blood or just plain blood?
Like, they were bleeding normal blood, but they also have copious amounts of this substance in them too.
Yeah.
And then I'll try my medical check against the organs, and that's a fail.
Yeah. You can tell the organs, as Ernest pointed out, they appear to be sort of malnourished and sickly, but you can't indicate anything further than that, at least not with a detailed autopsy.
These organs are made of organs.
You no longer appear to be in danger, so you decide to press on to the fisherman's cottage.
The music says otherwise.
The music definitely says S-Burster, even if the DM says safe.
Okay, I would like Constantine to do a navigate check, please. With advantage.
Well, that's
with advantage.
It's gonna pass anyway. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that will prevent you from getting lost as you make sure you're on course to the river where the fisherman awaits. Ernest, I would like you to do a spot hidden, please.
Pass.
As your colleagues make their way further into the swamp, you lag behind them a little bit, and then you examine your arm where the tentacle grabbed onto you, and you notice 3 tiny holes spaced equally apart, about a centimeter between each of them. The holes are barely bigger than pinpricks.
So do I notice anything, any discoloration or anything around the area?
Not yet. Would you like to attempt a medicine or first aid check to see if you get any more? Right.
That is a hard pass.
It's not visible at first, but you look down and you look at the skin carefully, and there's very, very slight discoloration, and then you feel the area and can just barely make out a very slight lump under each of the 3 holes.
I'll pull my belt knife out and I'll try and dig one out.
Right. Would like you to make a hard dexterity check, please.
That is a failure.
All right. Well, you do manage to get one out, but in the you cut yourself.
Deal a point of damage to myself.
Yep. You take a point of damage as you make a deep incision into your arm, and you immediately begin bleeding. Just before you stimmy the bleeding, you look inside and you see 3 tiny circular objects embedded just under your skin.
Cool. I'd like to remove them.
Quickly pull them out and then wrap a bandage around the bleeding cut. Now holding the strange objects.
I'll drop them in the formaldehyde jar.
You pull out your little formaldehyde jar and you drop them one by one, each one making a soft little splash as it sinks down to the...
I try and disturb them a little bit. Like, I'll give a swish around with a stick in the jar and see what happens.
Swish them around and they appear to have some level of buoyancy. They float to the top of the jar and then after a while begin to very slowly sink back down to the bottom.
Alright,
You show them to anybody.
No, I just put the jar away.
Right? Okay, I would like whichever of you has the lowest luck, in this case it would be the professor, to make a hard spot hidden check, please.
So what have I missed?
That's fail.
That's failed, that's fine. Ernest has examined his skin, found strange lumps, cut it open, caused himself damage in the process, and extracted three small white round objects that were embedded under his skin.
Oh, lovely. So he got himself more screwed from the dog.
Yeah. You notice that Ernest has fallen a little bit back and he's fiddling with something, but you can't quite see what he's fiddling with, and you just assume he's adjusting his, either reloading his gun or adjusting his safari clothing or extracting supplies from his backpack.
Yeah.
Ernest, is there anything else you would like to do?
I will make sure, so I'll unbutton the sleeves of my car keys so that they form a long sleeve so it covers the bandaging. And
Pull down your sleeves to cover the wound.
Yeah. And I will load my gun and make sure it's clean and sighted.
And then you stow the formaldehyde jar into your backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of hours later, you find yourselves coming up upon the fisherman's cottage. It's now mid to late afternoon. Lucas Devlin lives in a small, ramshackle wooden shed on the edge of the mist-shrouded riverbank, just 100 or 200 yards from the lake. Smoke rises from the shed's chimney. Nearby, a small wooden pier juts out into the water. A small boat with a pair of oars is moored to the pier. The shed is small, barely big enough to hold Lucas, let alone if you were to all enter and question him. Contains a small cot, table, and a couple of chairs, all visible through the large front window, and fishing gear is stacked up outside the front door. Empty bottles of bootleg whiskey are scattered about the front porch, in plain sight. What would you like to do?
I'll step forward and I'll call out Lucas's name.
The door immediately is flung open, and a rugged, dirty-looking man grasping in one hand a bottle of whiskey and in the other hand a large fire poker steps out. He looks around, his face manic, and he says, "That you, girl? You better be bringing back my fucking..."
You're gonna have to repeat that.
Says, "That you, girl? You better be bringing back my fucking boat."
Actually, we're here about the girl. Actually, wait, no, that wasn't my voice. That was another character's voice. No, it's like, oh, we're here about the girl.
He looks at you, takes in what he sees, and then narrows his eyes. He takes a swig of the whiskey, and he says, "But You all are fucking boyfriends?
No, you represent a concerned party.
He says, concerned, huh? Well, I'm concerned about my second boat.
Yes, well, we're wondering perhaps where she could have taken it, because we're after her, and perhaps in the execution of our task, we will find your boat for you. Stands to reason if we're looking for her and she has your boat, if we find her, we'll find your boat.
Takes a swig of his whiskey and then coughs. Coughs up some phlegm into his hand and then rubs it on the front of his yellow raincoat. He then says, well, all right then. I got some fucking gumbo cooking inside. Why don't you come in and we'll talk all about it?
Great. Let's step in.
All of you enter the tiny shack. There's barely enough room for all of you. There's a small cot inside, a table, couple of chairs, and yet more fishing gear. Wood-burning stove occupies the middle of the shed. Lucas immediately crosses over to the stove, takes off the lid of a pot that is boiling there, stirs it, and then brings a wooden spoon to his mouth. He taste tests it, shrugs, and puts it back in the pot, and he puts the lid on. He takes a seat at the dingy table and takes another swig of whiskey. He says, right, so you're looking for the girl?
Yes.
He says, well, what do you want to know?
Where she could have been off to. What directions you perhaps may have pointed her in.
He says, well, we wanted to head out into the middle of the lake, the island where that old professor lives, on his own. Middle of fucking nowhere. Not that I can talk.
Wonderful. Well, would you consider giving us some directions there and perhaps assisting us in transport if required?
He says, sure. You go outside, you head up the small creek, you get to the river bank, and then the island's out there on the middle. But unless you want to swim, you're gonna need a boat. And I ain't offering you my last boat. That's my livelihood.
Alright.
Does someone else want to deal with this? Because this is not my forte.
Alright, I got this one. I've got this one. I've got this one in the bag. I'd like to dominate him.
Very well.
No,
Context.
don't mind me.
Yes. Make a power check, please.
Can't have enough power to dominate him.
What's my power? Oh, that's a hard pass.
It's a hard pass, alright. Gotta do his just in case. Right. Also, you must now spend the sanity cost.
And that's just 170, so
Yep.
I can live with one.
For now.
He begins to ramble about how the dang bitch took my boat, said she'd be back later that day, still not back, only got one fucking boat left. You grab him and you look into his eyes. What do you say?
I'm sorry, I just have to do this for a laugh for the first one. Wave my hand in front of him. You will give us your last boat to find her.
He looks at you and he blinks and he says, alright, take the fucking boat. Don't fucking wreck it. It's all I got.
We will bring it back.
He says, well, hope so. Go out and take it. Here. He reaches into his pocket, places a key on the table. That's the ignition for the motor. Says you'll want to pull the string once or twice. Give it a second or third try if it don't start.
Has it got enough fuel in it?
He shrugs. He says, well, should be. Going out to the middle of the lake and back should be fine.
Also, is there... We've just encountered some wild animals. Is there anything else we should be worried about?
Says wild animals? What? You mean gators or...
No, dogs.
Says dogs.
Dogs larger than normal.
He scratches his head and he says, that's a new one. sometimes I see birds and lizards bigger than they should be out there, but always give them a wide berth. Of course, unless it's the swamp monster you're talking about.
Yes, I would like some more information about the swamp monster. I believe the shopkeeper said a few names. Does Gla'aki sound familiar?
He looks at you. He says, Gla'aki. It'd be what that old professor used to go on about. Back when we used to talk face to face in either case. As he came down here for some peace and quiet to conduct some research, took one of my boats one time, helped me to he needed my help to lift this big fucking blue rock out of a nearby cave, dragged it out. Professor took it to his house, and never seen it again after that. That's when the strange lights started appearing.
Lovely. Alright, do you know if the strange crystal is still at the professor's house?
Says, fucked if I know. Professor didn't speak to me again after that. Had to fight him to get my fucking boat back. I asked him if he needed any more help, and he simply said, the deed is done.
Did anything change with his demeanor?
He says, well, that'd be about the time when his son died, was killed by that croc. And after that, he and his other remaining son, well, they keep to themselves. Don't come out of their house, and, well, they get a delivery of groceries about once a week, but that's about the only contact they have from the outside world.
But when you last spoke to them, their change in demeanor, did it seem like they were full-on expressionless?
Says, well, they was always cold, but expressionless? Nah, I don't think so. Sometimes these nights I still hear screams and weeping coming from their professor's death of his son took him hard.
Very well. Thank you very kindly for the information and for the boat.
Nods. He heads over to the pot on the boil, takes another taste test, and then he smiles. He said, hey, this is turning out good. Might add another half bottle of whiskey. You folks hungry?
Alright, I'd just like to inspect the gumbo, because everything that we can eat or drink I'm just now very wary of.
Yeah, just a bit.
Come over and you inspect the gumbo. Make a spot hidden check, please.
That is a pass.
It appears to be gumbo. It looks like normal. Looks quite tasty, in fact, except for the fact that he has boiled it in what appears to be a pot of whiskey rather than water.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Alright, okay, so the whiskey in this campaign is completely fine, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, yep, yeah, what do you think, boys? We, eat a bowl, then we continue onwards.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Ernest?
Sorry, I've cut in now and again. I've had to restart.
Yep. Are you partaking in the gumbo with everyone
yes,
else?
I am. Yes, I am.
please.
Howdy do, says Lucas. He gets out 5 chipped, dusty-looking bowls and pours a serving of gumbo for everyone present. He digs into his almost immediately and loudly licks his lips. Is there anything else you'd like to ask of him?
Yes, Ron, can I see your map for a second?
Yep.
I bring it out, to the... I'm gonna dub him the Swamp Man.
Yep.
I, bring it out and, show it to him. Can you circle the professor's hut and the fastest way to get there?
Looks at the map and he then retrieves a pencil and circles a small island in the middle of the lake. He says, "Professor's right there. island's so small, his house pretty much takes up the whole thing. Says, now, best way to get there is take the boat up this creek here. He traces it with his pencil. That'll take you out onto the lake. Then puts a large X on the north end of the lake, and he says, you want to avoid this cave. It's where the professor and I dragged that big blue rock out of. Nest for gators now, and of course the superstitions say that that's where the swamp monster dwells during the day. We might want to avoid it.
Thank you very kindly for that. We'll take that under extreme advice.
Is there anything anyone else would like to ask him about in particular?
No.
Not that I can really think of.
I think I'm satisfied with it.
Your microphone's a bit Tom.
Wait a second.
Oh, there we go. It was fine then.
I'll turn down the groovy a bit.
Yeah, that'll help you.
Is because I think that was a very loudly pitched thing, and I think I'm trying to process too much at once. Yes, no, I am quite satisfied with the results of our interrogations. So,
You'll finish your gumbo. Yep, you'll finish your late lunch of gumbo. Takes about 20 minutes, and then as you exit the cabin, you notice that the sky is beginning to glow red with the first hints of sunset. You have secured the use of Lucas's boat, and all you need to do...
direct pass to that cabin.
All you need to do is untie the boat, start the engine, and take it down the river, which is at the end of the small pier.
Excellent. Before I go, I'd just like to do oh, we're not inside the house anymore. Wait, are there any has he got any traps outside the house? Like...
No, he's a fisherman. He only has there's like fishing gear. You could probably cobble together a trap out of it, but hasn't got like any hunter's traps or anything.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well,
Would you like to try to construct something?
I don't know what I could construct out of fishing stuff.
Yeah, so probably best to leave it in that case.
Actually, wait, because fishing person, he would have like not exactly a fishing spear.
Yes, in fact, jumbled among the other fishing supplies on the front porch, you see a large sharp stick that he presumably uses to spear fish in the river.
Yes, is he still outside with us, or has he gone back in?
Oh, he's inside. He's gone back in to eat the rest of his gumbo.
Alright, I'd like to take that fishing spear, thank you.
Yep. Right, make a stealth check, please, with advantage.
Oh, advantage, nice. 15, and that's for what? My stealth is... Yes, that's a pass. Thank God for advantage, otherwise that would have been 80.
You quickly take a glance through the front window. He's eating a bowl of gumbo. He looks up and sees you and waves and then goes back to his meal. And as soon as his head is back down on that bowl of gumbo, you extract the fishing spear from its spot and quickly place it over your shoulder.
Right,
Will be none the wiser.
Just let me write that in. Fishing spear. Yep.
Right. Walk out onto the small jetty and you pull the loop of rope over the wooden in the boat, and then you all step into the boat. Insert the key into the ignition on the motor and make a luck check, please, Liam.
That is a hard pass. Well, actually, no, it's like you don't need a hard pass, do you?
And the engine roars to life on the first try. Begin to slowly pilot it down the river. River runs from northwest to southeast and moves very slowly. Algae covers the top of the water, and ripples from the mosquitoes and other insects continually disturb the calm surface. A smell of rotting vegetation hangs over the river, and the mouth of the lake can be seen just up ahead. Ernest, I would like you to make a power check, please.
Nope, I think he's having troubles again.
No, I've got it. I'm doing it.
Is that a pass or a fail?
That is a pass.
Pass. You're simply watching the tree line as Tom Selleck pilots the boat down the creek, and notice something moving back in the swamp. A large humanoid shape crunching through the trees. You turn to tell your associates about it, but it is gone. Make a sand check, please.
Oh dear.
I'm so good at these tonight. Open this back up. That is a failure.
Lose 1d3 sand.
Oh.
Feels man.
Turn to tell them about the strange silhouette, but it's gone by the time you have a chance to say anything. You sigh and sit down on the edge of the boat. Look down into the river, and that's when you see a grey, waterlogged hand reach out of the water towards you. You blink, and then it's gone.
Really
Boat.
Man.
Boat slowly makes its way out onto the lake. Water is calm here. Perhaps too calm. There's no ripples, not even the tiny ripples of water birds or insects disturbing the surface. It seems as if this water has remained still for all of time. And as you slowly sail across the carpet, the yellow-colored carpet before you, towards the professor's island, a thick mist begins to roll in at an almost supernatural speed and density.
That can't be good.
Okay, I would like all of you to attempt spot hidden checks, please.
I think it's
That is a hard pass from me.
Hard pass,
that's
yep.
a normal
They
pass for
pass
me.
from myself.
Yep. As the boat sails across the water, you once again feel that feeling of foreboding, of oppression, of being watched from when you first entered the Hockomock swamp. And you watch the water for signs of movement. That's when you see it. Something lurking below the surface of the water, just barely visible. A large, misshapen black shape of indeterminate appearance, at least 5 or 6 feet wide, just watching, waiting, not moving.
All right.
Ron Constantine, you get a slightly better look at it, and you watch as it waits, and the boat goes past, and then what passes for its head looks up at you, and you see waterlogged, deformed human face smiling. Sand check for you, please.
Oh, yay.
Oh no.
Oh, that is... yeah, that's a pass.
You still lose 1 sanity.
Aw.
Would anyone like to do anything?
It's alright, I've got 69 sanity.
You got what, Santi?
I level my I level my rifle at it.
Yeah, don't fire just yet because it's just waiting at the moment.
I'd like to just
keep it
prepare my
trained.
pistol.
Yep, you all raise your guns and you just point them at the thing in the water, just in case. And
I think that says "fuck off" in any language.
yeah,
It's open.
and the boat continues to make its way across the water. Tom Sullick, do you speed up in the boat, or do you continue to travel at the same leisurely pace?
Ooh, yeah, speed up.
All right. I'd like you to make a pilot boat check, please.
Oh shit!
That's a 1.
Okay, if I don't have it, what do I need for the bare minimum?
1.
Whatever. Yeah, just 1.
Oh shit! Well, that's 21.
Okay, you pull the string on the motor. It roars into action as the boat begins speeding across the lake. It's perhaps this that disturbs the thing in the water.
Oh, fuck off!
There's a loud splash as the shape begins to move. It zooms towards the speeding boat.
I would like to pull the trigger on my gun.
Okay.
Yep, sorry, this one's my bad, sorry.
Make a hard firearms check with disadvantage.
So hard would be 17. No, that pushes me too low. I'll just miss. Yeah.
Fire your gun and you hear a loud splash as your bullet pelts into the water. You're unsure if you hit the thing. It zooms towards the boat and then thump! Boat is rocked by a great force. Tom Sullick tries to control, but before you have a chance to do anything, the boat is flung into the air.
Oh shit.
And flips, expelling you all into the lake. Everybody make a swim check, please.
God damn it. That's fail.
That's fail.
Fail.
The entire party's gonna drown here.
Strength.
Fail.
That is
Fail.
that surpassed me.
Okay, you fall into the water and you begin treading water, struggling to stay afloat. You are pulled into the depths. Everyone who failed, I want you to now make a strength check, please.
That is a pass for me.
Do we know whose is whose?
I'll take the higher one, still a pass for me.
So
I
that's-
pass as well.
Then,
Yep.
oh yeah, we passed. Cool.
You tread water for about 2 minutes, although it seems to take much longer, until you finally get back to the surface and gasp for air. You look around, and the thing in the water is nowhere to be seen. Your boat is capsized, floating a good 5 to 10 meters away from where you are currently treading water.
Alright,
Who's the strongest
And-
swimmer amongst us?
wait. If we tie our 2 bits of rope together, would we have enough to make a lasso and pull the boat towards us?
Have you ever
Yes.
tried tying a knot while swimming?
It means get to the shore first, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could try to swim to the island from here.
We could also go uncapsize our boat, which isn't really that hard.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I was just assuming we were close to shore.
I was gonna say, have you tried
You're about
uncapsizing a motorboat?
halfway to. You're about halfway to 2/3 out onto the lake, so you can swim the rest of the way, or you can uncapsize your boat. It's up to you.
I think 5 to 10 meters away is a lot closer than
Yeah.
shore at this
Yeah.
We
point.
might as well try and uncapsize the boat. I don't know how we're gonna go though.
Yep. Okay. I guess
Yeah,
if
they're
it's all of
relatively-
us, we will be doing it with advantage. Correct?
Yep. So whoever has the highest strength attempts the check.
All right.
That would be 70.
That'd be you.
Yeah, that's yours.
All yours.
With advantage, you say?
Yep.
Yes, with advantage because everyone's helping.
Cool. I will spend the 6 luck for that.
No, you rolled both dice, yeah.
You swim over to where your boat is capsized, and with a group effort and bit of exertion, you flip it over. It appears to be none the worse for wear, a little bit battered, but still seaworthy. However, the motor is waterlogged and no longer functioning.
Shit.
Oh dear.
Well, that's fine. I'll get myself back onto it. Is my rifle still slung across my shoulder?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. I'll use the butt of it as an oar and paddle us the rest of the way.
I will also help paddle with my rifle.
You may attempt to fix the motor if you like, but it will take some time, so it's better to just paddle it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I dare say
Who else has
we
a long
should
run?
we should do that while we're on shore.
Paddle further and further as you close the remaining distance on the lake. The thing in the water that attacked you does not appear again. However, when you're nearly to the shore, you see something triangular and pointed, jutting out from the surface of the water, just barely visible in the mist and the oncoming dusk. I'd like you all to make spot hidden checks again, please.
That is a pass for me.
No, pass for me as well.
That is a pass from me.
Oh,
You
nice.
Say extreme pass for me.
As you draw nearer to the object, you are able to get a better look at it, and you soon see it for what it is. A boat, much like your own, floating capsized in.
Oh dear.
Would anyone like to get out and try to flip it over and see if there's anything interesting inside?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'm a stand in the boat.
I'll do it.
We're gonna need a
Right.
big boat.
Yeah, that is a hard pass.
You sling your rifle back across your shoulder and you leap over the side of the boat. You swim out to the other boat and uncapsize it. Inside, you see two things of note are lying at the bottom of the boat. A grey woman's scarf and a waterlogged, barely keeping together reporter's notebook.
I'll take the notebook and I'll flip through it while I'm sitting in the other boat.
You rifle through the notebook. Most of the pages have fallen out, but you're able to make out the handwritten name on the inside cover, Caitlin O'Brien. And of the few pages that are still legible, make a own language check, please.
Can I push it?
Yes, you can.
Everyone do our own language.
Yeah,
Everyone?
Just him.
Only him.
The notebook is so waterlogged, most of the ink has run. You're trying hard to make out the words, and in the process, while flipping the pages to get a better look, you accidentally tear them out, and they turn to mush in your hands.
No, I shrug my shoulder and I throw it overboard, and then I bring the scarf back.
You make your way back to your party's boat and show everyone the scarf.
Ah, shit, that's not good.
Yeah. It was only the scarf.
Well, I think we better hurry up to the professor's house and really get to the bottom of this.
We continue paddling.
As soon as we get out of the water, the better.
Continue paddling. And soon, just as the last rays of sunlight begin to disappear and your world descends into dusk, you reach the island.
After we get to the island, I'm gonna clear my rifle, like
Of any gunk. Yep.
Yeah. Take this point to clean
and
the guns.
basically pull it apart, clean it, and put it back together again with a bit of oil and some fresh ammunition in it.
Yep.
Yeah, we should take this point to clean our guns.
Yes, everyone make firearms checks, please.
Oh, that is a hard
Oh,
pass.
that is a crit.
Oh, damn!
That is a hard pass for me.
Yeah, hard pass for me.
Should I do separate ones because I've got 2 different types of weapons?
Just one will be enough.
I'll do it for
Everyone's
my
highest.
rifles then. Oh,
Nice.
oh goody, extreme.
You paddle the boat up to the edge of a small pier, similar to the one outside Lucas Devlin's shack. Pull out the loop of rope and throw it over the pillar at the end of the pier, and then you each take out your firearms and spend about 10 minutes making sure all possible blockages that may have gotten into them during your little swim have been cleared.
Oh, phew.
Just the same, until you have time to properly disassemble them in a dry location, they're still a little bit waterlogged, and they each have a 10% chance of malfunction.
Oh, shit.
You climb out of the boat and begin to make your way up the pier. There is another boat here, an old-style rowboat, not a motorboat, presumably the professor's. On the island, big enough that it's taking up most of the land on this small chunk of rock, there is a large log cabin with a chimney. It's possible to walk around the island, but takes up so much of the land that no more than you won't be able to move around the sides of the cabin in any other formation other than single file. Front side of the cabin, facing the pier, has a sturdy front door, window on the left end of the front wall, which appears to open into a bedroom, and another window on the right. However, the curtains are drawn on this one. On the left side of the cabin, a septic tank is set into the ground, about halfway between the front and rear, aligned with what you suspect would be the bathroom. There is also another small window next to the septic tank, which opens into the same bedroom. See nothing on the right side of the cabin, and you'd have to take a walk around the back to have a look there, if you wish. What would you guys like to do?
Go up and knock on the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. Head up. Are you all going to knock on the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Head up to the front door. Quickly dry yourselves off, and then knock once, twice, 3 times. Hear the sound of something being unlatched, and then a very large and tough, but young man with an air of naivety in his face opens the door. He looks at you, and then he stammers, are you here to see my father?
Today, Junior! Yeah, we're here to see your old dad.
He looks at you, he says, I'm sorry, Dad said he's very busy, and I should turn away all the visitors.
But we're not visitors, we're old friends.
He looks at you and he says, but Dad and I live out here alone. We don't have any for friends.
Son, we're on some urgent business. We need to talk to your father, and flash him my badge.
Appears to look at your badge. He looks at your badge, but he appears to have no recognition of it. And he says, I'm sorry, sir. I can't bring my father.
Right. Do you think, guys, do you need to think I need to dominate him so we can get inside?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, go and dominate the poor lad.
Right, spend your 1 sanity and do a power check, please.
That is, normal? That is my power.
Normal power check.
That is hard.
That is hard. Look into his eyes and you say, I insist. He nods. He says, well, oh, okay, I'll go and get Dad. You just stay here.
Son, we're
And
gonna
then
have
he-
to come in right now.
Says, no, I can't. And then you hear another voice say, it's okay, Edgar. I'll talk to them. Okay, Dad, says the slow, dim-witted Edgar as he steps aside, revealing a short, thin, wiry-looking man with a look of madness in his face, with silver tufts of hair
Oh, look at
above both ears.
Wait, define the look of madness. What type of madness are we talking about?
Mad scientist, lightning from everywhere.
Imagine mad scientist.
Okay, so not like gone mad. Just like, no. Okay.
I mean, it's
Here's
mad
it-
as a mad scientist is.
Peers at you through narrowed eyes, and he says, I would thank you for bullying my son. I would ask why you felt it necessary to bully my son into submission. I'm very busy, so make it brief.
A flash of my badge again. Sir, we're here about the missing girl.
Says, I recognize no authority on this island. I came here to get away from people and the bureaucracy.
Sir, we were hired by another party to go find this missing reporter girl.
Make a persuade check, please.
Oh, crap, what's that? Oh, that's a 7. That's a crit pass.
He sighs and he says, all right, you may come inside and ask your questions, but then you have to leave.
Right.
Does everybody enter?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yep.
Right, he ushers you inside of the cavern. On the other side of the front door is a large living area with a big couch and a couple of chairs. There is a fireplace which vents through the cabin's chimney. Fireplace poker is leaning against the fireplace, which could possibly be used as a weapon, and there is a tinderbox on the mantle. Professor leads you into the lounge room and gestures for you to take a seat on a moth-bitten green couch.
You take a seat.
I take a seat. While the others are talking, I'll fully disassemble my gun and make sure it's
To get rid of that 10%.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Right?
Can I pass you my gun so you can do the same while I talk?
Sure.
To whom are you?
Well, Ernest, you're the best at the moment. Can I pass you my Magnum so you can fix it?
Sure.
Okay,
I take the Magnum. My pistol isn't as good as my.
Oh no,
Rifle.
I still have another pistol, so it's okay if we get in something as long as I can get it back.
Sure.
Right. Professor takes a seat on an old brown leather armchair next to the fireplace, and he looks up at Edgar and he says, fetch us some drinks from the kitchen, please, Edgar. Edgar says, okay, Dad, and then steps out of the room. The professor impatiently folds his arms over his disheveled lab coat, and he says, well, go on then.
All right. First off, I just want to apologize. We're just getting our guns out to clean them. We took a rather nasty spill in the boat earlier, and they're a bit waterlogged.
He smiles at you in perhaps a bit too of a mischievous manner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as I said before, we're here about the missing girl. We found another capsized boat with her scarf in it, and we're told you're the last person that saw her.
He says, yes, she came here, wanted to interview me about the about the swamp monster of all things. Well, I let her in, took her into the kitchen for a cup of tea, had our interview, and then she left. Back in her boat and made her way back to civilization. Safe and sound.
I don't think that's quite true. I get Ernest to pass me the scarf, and I just put it right next to us. This was found just outside your place, just on the river. Now, I'm pretty sure a capsizing boat everyone would have heard.
Looks at it and he says, I get caught up in my work sometimes, and my son's a half-wit.
Jeez, that's nice.
Well, it's the 1920s. I guess you could get away with stuff like that, but
Says, and as far as I'm aware, that scarf could belong to anyone.
Nope, it was sold to her by the convenience store owner.
He frowns and he says, well, leave me, I do not have any idea how it got into the lake. Then gets up, shuffles over to the fireplace, and you see him take a look into the fireplace before he opens the tinderbox and perhaps a bit too impatiently begins to ignite a flame in the fireplace.
huh?
I just keep cleaning my gun.
Yeah.
Ignites the fireplace and then returns to his feet. His son enters the room carrying a small bottle of what may be whiskey, but the color is a bit off. And
Yeah, I ain't drinking that.
Yep, I'm not drinking that.
he places it on places it on the coffee table and he says, Here you go, Dad. Professor says, yes, thank you, Edgar. You may enter yourself now. Edgar says, shall I make sure that the tunnel out back is clear for Junior to come and the professor's eyes go wide and he says, no.
All right,
Edgar,
hold on a second here. What's this tunnel and what's this Junior thing? You better start talking now.
Says, it's nothing. A project that myself and my son are attending to. Need not concern you.
Right, dominate.
Right, do a power check, please.
That is.
And bend your sanity point.
Yep, Senator spent. That is a hard pass. Sorry.
I'll roll another.
Oh, what? Oh,
Don't
no.
laugh at the DM.
I'm sorry.
No, I know it's not because of that. It's because there are things that are going on that you don't know.
Oh!
The second
And the
one.
game says no.
But yeah, okay. You gaze at the professor, give him an intimidating stare, and you say, "Tell me about the tunnel." He says, "Fine. Outside of the cabin and look at the back. There's a tunnel under the surface of the water that leads up into my lab. I use it to acquire samples from the lake."
Okay, and your son mentioned something about opening the tunnels to let Junior in. Now tell us everything we need to know. Everything about that and the girl.
He looks around and says, "Very well." Says, "The girl visited us. Yes, I told you this already. I will be clear with you. She left and you ran afoul of the thing in the lake, and there you have it."
And what thing in the lake is this?
Says, "The thing in the lake, the thing which haunts this lake." Says, "A thing that I would advise you not to trifle with."
Oh, sorry, Red Bull went down the wrong way.
I'm allergic to bullshit. Would anyone like to do anything while Tom Selleck is
You dying.
interrogating the professor?
Well, I'll just continue cleaning my gun.
Yeah, after I finally click the bolt back into place, slide a bullet into the chamber, and then check the ranging on the sights, I start working on Salik's revolver.
The professor glances into the fireplace.
Sorry.
The professor glances into the fireplace, and then he says, "If you'll excuse me, I must go to the bathroom for a moment." He begins to walk out of the room.
Alright, is the dim-witted son who I'm now going to call Simple Jack still around?
Yes, he's not in the room, but he's somewhere in the house.
Okay. God damn it.
Well, it sounds like he's going to go after the sun. I would like to have a look at the fireplace.
Yep.
Very well. Professor gets up and walks over to the fireplace. Make a hard spot hidden check, please.
Nope.
Would you like to spend luck or push it?
Nah.
Would anyone else like to examine the fireplace?
Sure, I should be just about done with my gun.
I'll cast my eye over it.
Right, both of you do.
Oh, damn.
A pass. You notice amongst the flame. Yes. you notice amongst the flames. So small now that they're barely visible, almost burnt away, are tiny shreds of both red and blue fabric.
Oh, great.
Wonderful.
Meanwhile, Tom Selleck, you're going after the sun, are you?
Actually, no. I had a change of heart. I want to hang around so I can get my magnum back.
All right.
I'm gonna go. What does he have? Any books on display?
Not here in the lounge room.
None in the lounge room. I'm gonna get up and walk over to the back room, gun drawn.
Alright, I'm assuming because you're doing that, you're finished with the magnum?
Yes.
Alright, cool.
Yes. Alright. You head up out of the couch, make your way out of the lounge, and walk down the hallway outside. You see that there are at least 3 other rooms in the house. The first is, you peek through the door, it's made out like a child's bedroom. There are posters of baseball players on the wall and toys scattered across the floor. There is a second room. You take a peek inside. Appears to be the professor's bedroom. It's bare, save for a dresser and a large king-size bed. There's the kitchen and dining room. Currently, the door is halfway closed, and you can hear the sound of rattling dishes as Edgar performs some menial chore. Next to the kitchen and dining room, there is a large metal door. It is locked with a big iron padlock, and a couple meters away from that, a wooden door, which you presume to be the bathroom.
All right. I look at the brand of the padlock. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to remember what it is and then look for a key with a similar brand on it.
Okay, make an intelligence check, please.
Me no so good at these, but let's see what happens. That is a fail.
You can spend some time examining the padlock, but you risk someone seeing you.
Oh, look, I'm not exactly incognito at this point, so I'll examine it.
Right, push, roll again.
Oh, okay, I see. As justification for a push.
Yes, justification for a push.
Fail.
Oof, Jesus.
At this point, the kitchen door opens beside you, and you find yourself face to face with Edgar. He's red in the face, and he says, "Hey, why are you trying to get into Dad's lab?"
I turn to go. Ah, it's his lab then. I see. Actually, I was looking for your father. We have something to discuss.
He says, "Just go and wait in the lounge room."
Urgent. You know what that means, boy.
Make a fast talk check, please.
What is it if you don't have it?
5.
Yeah.
Sorry?
5.
Ooh.
Yeah, 5%.
I'll see if did I put any new 5%. All right, give it a go.
Fingers crossed. Survey says, damn.
Nope.
No.
He says, sorry, sir. I can't let. Daddy said no one can get in to the lab. He then reaches for his belt, where you see a large fish skinning knife.
I pull back the lever on my rifle and I point it at him. I'm like, "Don't touch the knife, boy, if you know what's good for you."
Make an intimidate check, please.
Nope.
Right.
Wait. Wouldn't it be easy to intimidate a simple person?
No, it
He's
probably would be harder.
tough. Yeah, he's tough.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right. He pulls the knife out of his belt and looks at you, and he says, sorry, Dad said," and then starts to advance toward
I'm like, "Step back, boy." Another step and I pull the trigger.
Right. Continues to walk.
Do you need some backup?
I pull the trigger.
Oh god, no, god damn it. I was just saying you should call for backup and I'll tackle him to the ground.
What is your dexterity?
My dexterity is 60.
As your finger go ahead. Firearms check, please.
Alright, I'll be back. I need some water. I'm still coughing.
Can I make it a cold shot to the leg?
Alright, so with
Well, actually, no.
disadvantage.
Cold shot to the hand.
Alright, disadvantage then.
That's a shame, but still hit.
Yep. Alright, roll for damage, please. And half it.
Yep.
Alright, what did I miss?
He's
Tom
shooting him in the
shooting
hand.
in
Points of damage to the hand.
Oh dear.
He doesn't
aim
have a
your
hand anymore.
gun and you fire. There's a shriek of pain as the simpleton falls to the ground, dropping his knife. This is followed almost immediately by the sound of the bathroom door bursting open. You find yourself face to face with Professor Hodges. Strange markings painted on his face.
Oh.
Points at you with a look of pure hatred in his eyes. Make a power check, please.
Oh, lucky I'm rather good at these. Oh, can I push it?
No, you can't,
Oh,
because it's a
shit.
combat roll.
Bend luck.
Can't, it's a combat roll.
Oh,
Don't
no.
worry, you may still...
He could fail harder.
Oof.
He did not.
Unfortunately, he points at you. Every fiber of your being seemingly erupts into terrible pain. You feel as if you are literally on fire. You are consumed by intense agony, accompanied by bleeding, blistering, and terrible, terrible voices ringing in your head. Then realize that you can no longer see. You are blind.
Oh shit.
All right. Can I attempt to fire from where it came from?
Yeah, you can with disadvantage, but first I'd like you to make a sand check, please.
All right. Sand check first. Pass.
Okay, you still lose 1 sanity.
Oof.
Yep. Happy with that. And disadvantage, you say? That is a pass.
Bang! Roll for damage.
Uh, 15.
You fire. At this point, you hear the professor shout, "Gla'aki, spare me!" And then you hear something you can't describe, a sort of metallic scraping, and then the sound of your cartridge falling uselessly on the floor.
Is that
Then?
before the damage or?
Is negated the damage.
Oh shit!
You
All
guys
right.
have heard 2 gunshots out in the hallway. What do you do?
Run over. Well,
Yep.
Of course, with gun drawn, with the magnum.
Yeah, I was gonna say, draw my weapon and walk towards the hallway.
You sprint out into the hallway. As you do this, I'd like the 3 of you to make listen checks.
Actually, I wouldn't. Don't want to sprint. I want to sort of like stealthy move.
Everyone
Yeah.
makes listen checks.
Listen checks. Yep.
Hard pass.
That is a pass.
And a pass.
Perhaps in response to the gunfire, you hear a woman's voice from behind the metal door. Is anyone there? Help me, please!
Wait, from behind the metal door.
Behind the locked metal door.
Ooh.
Emerge
Fingers
into
crossed we
the...
don't burn this house down.
You
Yeah, don't
emerge
burn it
into
down.
yeah, don't burn this one down. You emerge into the hallway to find Edgar hobbled over on the floor, clutching a stump that used to be his hand. You see Ernest wildly waving his gun around as if he can't see. Meanwhile, his skin is covered in hundreds of painful-looking boils, and he appears to be bleeding out of several gaping wounds. Beside him, the professor has drawn a curved, pointed dagger from inside his lab coat and is about to plunge it into Ernest's torso.
Yeah, I want to open fire.
Right? Make a dex check, please.
That is a 14. So yeah, that's
14.
a pass.
You fire. Make a firearms check, please.
Oh baby. That is a. Crap, I can't maths at the moment. That's a 34. My firearms is 80. Is that hard or critical?
That is a hard.
Hard.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, roll for damage, please. Don't double it, just normal damage.
Oh, just normal. Okay. 1d10. That is a 9 plus d4. Roll 1d4. So not 9 plus 4 plus 2.
So 15.
Yes.
As you fire, the professor raises his hand and he once again shouts, "Gla'aki, defend me!" You see a ray of light burst from his hand and it appears to zap your bullet in midair, rendering it inert as it falls harmlessly to the ground.
Shit. Alright, can I quickly perform a dominate spell?
No, you have
Okay.
to wait
Yep.
until your next
Alright,
turn.
just
Okay.
like good.
Ron Constantine, what do? You've come out into this scene in the hallway.
I'm going to use one of my rock salt shells.
All right.
Ooh, good.
Okay, firearms check, please.
That is a hard pass.
That's a hard pass. Roll your damage, please.
4d6 plus 2. 17.
Yeah, okay, 17 damage. Boom! You fire your shotgun with the salt-filled round at the professor.
Very nice.
He raises his hand once again and invokes the name Gla'aki. But this time, shell pierces the light, and the front of his torso turns red as you shred his skin. He falls to the ground and begins to form a pool of blood around him.
Yay!
It is at this point that Edgar's eyes go wide and he says, Dad! He raises his knife and leaps towards who is right in front of him, which would be Ernest. Ernest, make a dodge check with disadvantage, please.
Shit. Oh,
That is failed.
yeah.
Right. Right. This is what happens. The Hulk, the brooding Hulk of a man leaps towards you, his stump of a hand bleeding, his skin pale as he rapidly begins to bleed out, and he plunges his knife your torso.
How much damage do I take?
Like 5 points of damage. Constitution check, please.
Pass. Hard pass.
You manage to remain conscious, but you can feel the knife stuck in your chest. Pull it out. You feel Edgar's grip growing looser and looser, and then you hear a loud thump, which falls to the floor in front of you. He's rapidly bleeding out and will soon expire. What do the rest of you do?
I put a round in his head.
No, not in his head. We should deal with the professor then.
Well, I was going to say, I put my rifle back on my back, take out my pistol, and shoot the professor. Walk over and shoot
Walk up,
the professor.
you put a bullet in the professor's head. It makes a loud as it hits his skull, but he does not appear to move. Meanwhile,
Oh, so
Ron
he's already
Constant-
dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Ron Constantine pulls out his shotgun, aims at the rapidly bleeding out Edgar, and fires, shredding his head and instantly killing him.
It was a
Ernest-
mercy killing.
Ernest, bleeding out with a knife in his chest, still covered in painful boils and seemingly still blinded, simply falls to his feet in front of the lot of you.
I just want to say so he doesn't freak out. Okay, the others are dead and all of us is just around you.
Wonderful. All right. First wound in chest. Stop me bleeding out, and then we can deal with the rest.
Yep.
We've all kind of used our first aid.
Actually,
for the day.
wait. We still have the scarf on us. Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to. Well, first we have to pull the knife out and
I will allow you to make.
Leave the knife in.
leave the knife in. Okay.
Will allow you to use the scarf to attempt another first aid check.
Give it to me.
Yep. Give it to Ron.
Oh, that is just a
Oh
pass.
damn.
Okay, you have stabilized Ernest's major wound, and Ernest recovers 1 health.
Oh, the music.
However, bleeding pustules around his body, nothing you cannot appear to stop them. Ernest, make a power check, please.
Diddly-dee. Control.
I'm a potato.
That is a pass.
You manage to fight through the pain and regain control of your faculties, but you still cannot see. You're able to move freely once again.
Alright. I want to guide. I was about to say Thomas. I want to guide Ernest to a chair and just place him down.
Alright, you wrap your arm around him and guide him back to the living room and place him down on the moth-bitten couch.
All right. If someone could put a pot of tea on that, would be
Yeah, I was about to say someone get some
Pot of tea.
get some tea. Or
Is anyone any good at picking locks?
I think I am.
Do you want to go get the lock off that door
That's what I was going to do.
and see how the
but
woman's doing?
that's what I was going to do. But first, I was going to say, someone get some water and try cool him down and unblind him, so to speak.
Would you mind doing that, Ron? I'm going to have a look at these pustules. I'd like to check the pustules with my medicine knowledge.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
Alright, so I'd like to
Right,
unpick the lock.
Okay, you attempt a lockpick check. Ron heads to the kitchen and begins to boil the kettle, while Professor
That is a
attempts
hard
to
pass.
you stick your lockpick in, you jiggle it around, and after a few minutes, there's a click as the padlock becomes loose. Meanwhile, was that a pass on the medicine check?
No.
Yeah. You look at the pustules, and they don't appear to have any natural origin. Please make a SAN check.
Oof.
Lose 1d6 SAN as you realize that you are witnessing the real, very real effects of a magic spell. Not enough to drive you temporarily insane, however.
No.
If magic is real, then everything you knew means nothing.
I mean,
Have we already gone through this?
Yeah.
the monster still makes sense.
The best you could do is offer some painkillers and hope that it helps Ernest recover from his condition.
Don't have any of those on me.
Later.
I'd like to go check the medicine cabinet in the bathroom for painkillers.
Or anything to help.
Make a spot hidden check, please.
That's a pass.
Open the small cabinet beneath the sink and you find a bottle of codeine pills.
Ooh.
Perfect. Now, if I want to give him the codeine, do I have to roll medical to make sure I don't OD him?
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to try and give him some codeine.
Can I just refuse the painkillers? I can fight through it.
Oh, you absolutely can refuse the painkillers if you don't trust me.
Yeah, I'll just refuse painkillers.
Also, while I'm in the kitchen,
My
I'm
willpower.
going to search for salt.
You look around and surprisingly you find no salt in the kitchen.
Oh, fancy that.
Oh. Really?
Yes.
So there's no point even rolling a spot hidden?
Nope.
You could
Can't
tell
find what's
quite
not there.
easily that there's no salt. It's not something they would hide. And all the places where you'd find salt, there is no salt. There appears to be not a single speck of salt in the house.
What? I am so lucky I brought those 3 up.
For-
Now I've got
yeah.
3 salt shells left.
Yes. I'll tell you why it succeeded out of character. It's because salt has an alchemical substance that sometimes negates magical effects, which is why the salt was able to pierce his deflect harm spell.
Woo!
Perfect. Good to see salt always is the solution to magic.
Yes. You've
They
heard of
called
salt
me
being,
crazy.
you've heard of many occult myths that are about like sprinkling salt to prevent spirits from entering your house and stuff like that. But it's genuinely surprising you now that it
Actually works.
Well,
Not really.
he's the only
I am a demon hunter.
yes, so you know.
He's the only one that would know that that was a salt round, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty
Right,
much.
Actually, no, I would have known too because he was inquiring about salt and shotgun.
Oh, and I did pack the salt shells
Yeah.
while we were standing around the car, so
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
everyone.
so that doesn't mean you would have used one.
You bring you pour a glass of tea and bring it out to the lounge room to Ernest, who's looking like a bloodied piece of meat by this point.
Here you go. Hope this helps with the sanity.
Alright, and before I open the door, the symbols on the professor, they just painted on or like cut in or
He appears to have painted them on
okay.
with some sort of paint.
Can I do before I open the door? Can I do a mythos check?
Yes, you can.
That is a pass.
Ernest, you feel the shape of a teacup being pressed into your bloodied hand.
I drink from it.
No, I thought you would pour it on
From
your
it.
head.
Yeah. You drink from it and you feel a little better. You may regain 1d3 san.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that's a good tea.
That is some really good herbal tea.
I may have
So I'll spritz
salted a
and
bit of my stash.
You spritz some salt in.
yeah.
Oh, whoops, that's 1d100, not 1d3.
You're not
You don't
getting
get
a
eight,
Not getting that much.
Super San.
1
One
point.
san.
Okay.
Okay. Liam, your Cthulhu Mythos check tells you that spell has been cast upon Ernest. A spell likely that the professor learned from some book, or perhaps directly from Gla'aki himself. And if it's anything like your dominate, it will wear off after enough time has passed. Or, as the spell may be all in the mind, if you could perhaps ensure that Ernest doesn't remember that he's been afflicted with the spell, you might be able to reverse its effects.
Oh, okay, so... Wait, okay. Before we do all that as well, I think we should let the girl out.
Right? Open the door. Inside is a large open room with a stone floor and wooden walls. The edge of the stone floor at the back of the room is sunk into a square pool of water under the surface of which you can see a tunnel leading outside. Next to the pool
Dale,
of
sorry,
water.
sorry, I gotta say, Drake in chat said, it's official, tea helps with sanity. There needs to be a brand called Sanity Be Gone.
Insanity be gone.
Insanity Be
Tea.
Gone. Yep.
Sanity.
Sanity.
I'm happy with sanity.
Next to
It's
the
Yorkshire
pool-
gold.
Or
Next
we
to
could
the
go with
pool-
Yorkshire gold. Anyway, sorry.
The pool is a large iron cage, inside of which is presumably the girl Caitlin wearing a hospital gown. She's looking at you, her face terrified. Also in the lab are several steel and iron tables, presumably workbenches, filled with books, vials, and a full chemistry set amongst other scientific implements.
Alright, I call for Ron and
Professor Longfellow.
Yeah, Professor Longfellow. Since Ernest can't move, I call Longfellow and Ron down.
Oh, Ernest can move, he just can't see.
Yeah, that's
got
why I
the
want to leave him on the couch.
Alright. Alright, you guys enter the lab. Okay, I would like Ron to conduct a spot hidden check. I would like
Yeah.
Tom Selleck to do a locksmith check. And I would like the professor to do a science check.
That is
Science!
that is a critical 8 right there.
That is a fail.
Fail. That's okay. See how the science check goes.
Extreme!
Okay. Find amongst all of the workbenches several vials containing a sickly yellow liquid. One jar you find a bunch of vials containing a sickly yellow liquid. A couple of vials which seem to have small white spherical objects floating within them, and one large formaldehyde jar inside of which appears to be a long silver spike.
Oh, yep. We're going to leave that there.
I would like to compare the small sample of material I took from the dog to the yellow liquid.
Run a couple of tests and you identify that they have the same chemical makeup.
Excellent.
And that the chemical makeup tells you that they are designed to bind to and override the host cells, essentially taking over the body. Make a sanity check, please. Do you realize that these are unearthly substances?
That's a fail.
Lose 1d6 sand, please. We've got 20 minutes of the scenario left.
Oh no!
Oh, make an intelligence check, please.
Please fail.
That's pass.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Roll a 1d100 for me, please.
Hey, M1's here.
Yeah, it's just too late in the scenario for him to join, but you can join in the finale next week, M1, and play that journalist. See if he survives the finale and then joins the campaign afterwards. As you realize that you are looking at something not of this world, you take all the vials and you just smash them on the floor, ensuring that no one will be able to examine them to any greater detail. And then, as Tom Selleck opens the iron cage containing Caitlin, you pull out your gun, mutter, "She's infected,"
Oh, no.
and put a bullet straight in her head.
Oh, god damn it! Oh no!
Tom Selleck, sand check, please.
Oh, why, Professor? Why? That's a pass.
Lose 1d sand for the girl you came to rescue being killed.
God.
1d what?
1 sanity, please. Just 1.
Oh shit! No, that was. Yeah, there we go. God damn it, Professor!
Ernest, you hear a gunshot from the back room. What do?
I just sit there,
Just sit there.
set my hands down.
Everyone else, what do?
I want to look around for to see if there was a book that the professor was reading.
Do a spot hidden check, please.
That is a pass.
You look amongst the remnants on the workbenches, look through the smashed vials, and you find 2 books. One of them appears to be a scientific journal written by the professor. The other one is a much older book, at least a century or more older, with ornate gold-trimmed bindings. The title is Revelations of Gla'aki, Volume 4.
Okay, oh, of course, I'm gonna read it.
Okay, that will... You flip through it, and it appears to be a series of writings written by followers of Gla'aki, delivered by him through visions and dreams. It contains a number of rituals, spells, and other arcane lore. Will require several months of detailed study to fully grasp everything within.
Okay, so just kind of do that off game.
That's your mythos tome.
Yep.
Other book is a journal. Would you like to flip through it?
Yes. Alright, hold on.
Okay.
I have to do this for Kitty. It's a professor! There we go.
Naughty
Right.
professor. I used to think you were crazy, but now I can see you're nuts.
There are several entries of significance in the journal, going back to the professor's time at Miskatonic University. He explains how, as he gained tenure, he gained access to the restricted section of the library there, where he encountered several mythos tomes and began to gradually be indoctrinated into the mythos as his sanity waned. It gradually altered his worldview and eroded his sanity. The journal entries become increasingly disjointed and disturbed. In late 1917, he comes to the conclusion that humanity is doomed and realizes that nothing can be done to save it. He cites events such as the Great War and the Bolshevik Revolution as proof that the world is ending, and he does not believe that there is much time left before civilization collapses completely. He convinces himself that Gla'aki is the only one who will save him and his family, and so he leaves the university and relocates his wife and child to the cabin in the Hockomock Swamp.
Wait, wife?
Yeah, his wife who died in childbirth,
Oh, okay.
giving birth to Edgar.
Yep.
Journal
yep.
entry describes his wife dying in childbirth at Edgar's while giving birth to Edgar, and goes on to say how he detests the simpleton boy for taking his wife away from him. The journal entry for August 23rd, 1918 briefly describes the incident where his son Junior was attacked by an alligator. He states that his son Junior jumped in front of Edgar to save him from the alligator and was fatally wounded by the creature. Professor, on the brink of madness, decides to try one of the rituals in his mythos tome, a ritual designed to bring someone back from the brink of death, to bring them into the service of Gla'aki. It brings his beloved son Junior back at a cost. The creature that had been Junior possesses remarkable regenerative powers, which are what saved his life, and he developed gills, which allowed him to breathe underwater. He lost the ability to speak, although he still seemed intelligent. He was now 8 feet tall and green, and his body secreted a strange slime that seemed to infect other creatures and change them in subtle ways. Professor reported that his son had been killed by the alligator, but from this point on, Junior lived in the lake, needing to spend most of his time submerged. Professor installed a pool in his lab with an underwater entrance for Junior to come and go to visit every evening. Journal entries also mention a partially submerged cave on the northeast edge of the lake in which Junior took residence. It was here that the professor discovered a large crystalline rock, and as it stated in his Revelations of Gla'aki book, interpreted this rock as being something evil that would prevent his son as a servant from Gla'aki of surviving. And so he dragged it out into the lake and offered it to his god. A vision of his god appeared and absorbed the crystal and was never seen again. He then goes on to talk about several times where his son visited through the underwater tunnel, spending time with his brother and father. During one such visit on a cold night, the professor lit the fireplace and Junior reeled away from it, terrified. Latest journal in the entry, made only days ago, details Caitlin's visit and her subsequent capture by Junior. Professor believes she'll be written off as lost in the swamp, just another victim of the Hokomok's mysteries. He now intends to mate her with Junior to see if they can produce offspring, provided his tests show that they are biologically compatible.
No.
Goes on to say that his son, introduced to Caitlin, quickly infected her with a black gnarled tentacle, implanting small white eggs in her body, from which the strange substance would secrete, eventually mutating her and placing her under his son's control.
Okay. Good thing you killed her.
Yes. He lists the experiment as a success, and then writes that he will continue to observe what happens. That is all that is in the diary. It is at this point that you remember the tentacle bursting forth from the infected dog and lashing Ernest on the wrist.
Did we all see that?
Actually, no, I don't think you guys saw it.
We did see it, but he hid the wound.
Yeah, he hid the wound. Yes, he hid the wound.
Well, I'm just curious if I saw it, because if I'm insane and I saw it, I'm going to go shoot him.
And also, I would like Liam to do Liam at this point to do an intelligence check.
That's wait, what is my intelligence? Intelligence. No, that's a fail.
Yeah. It's fine. Although you do recall, you read in the diary that a blue crystalline rock was dragged out of the cave and offered to the god, who absorbed it. And from your experiences last time, you know that the more of these crystals that are offered to Gla'aki, the easier it is for him to return to our world. It happened 10 years ago, and so you weren't able to stop it, but if indeed one crystal has been offered to Gla'aki, this means he is now one step closer to returning.
Well, at least we destroyed the last crystal.
Yes. Right, what do you tell your partners any of this?
I feel like telling the currently insane one would be a bad thing, so I tell Ron.
Right. Dylan, I'd like you to make a listen check, please.
Oh shit. Oh no.
That's a hard
Okay.
pass.
As Tom Selleck pulls Ron aside and begins to summarize the salient details of the
Oh shit.
the diary, you manage to catch whispers of a tentacle infecting somebody with Junior's fluid. And so you, at this point, walk out to the lounge where Ernest
Oh no.
is sitting, trying his hardest to see through the wounds. Ernest, make a luck check, please.
Sure.
Oh wow.
One. Okay. You hear the sound of panicked movements coming into the room in front of you and the sound of a pistol being cocked.
Cool. I'll fire at the sound.
Right?
I mean,
Firearms check.
Sorry, go on.
Has he got his weapon ready though?
Contested firearms check, please.
Would that be with disadvantage because he's blind?
Firing in the... Okay.
All right, my
Dang.
firearms is 85. So what is yours?
50.
Yeah. Okay. You fire your gun at the incoming noise. Roll for damage, please.
Oh. Oop. Oop. 20.
Oh,
I think you killed the professor. Did you?
Absolutely.
god
Yep.
damn!
You hear the sound. You hear a loud squish as the professor's head explodes like a watermelon, and you hear the sound of something heavy hitting the ground. The other two of you hear a gunshot from the other room. Rush out, and you are just in time to see the professor's headless body hit the floor. Ernest brandishing his elephant gun. Both of you make SAN checks, please.
That is a pass.
That is a extreme pass. I'm super okay with this.
Right, you're both okay with it.
All right, I'd like to
Girl is the... Yep.
I'd like to cast Dominate on Ernest.
Ernest, make a power check, please.
That is a pass.
Okay. Tom Selleck, make a power check, please.
That is let's find power again. That wait, do I need to match the power? Get under his power or just do my power?
Higher degree of success.
Okay. Well, that is a 50.
And what's your power?
My power is 60. No, that's intelligence. My power is 50.
Okay, and your
well,
power 70, I'm guessing.
No, my power is 80.
Okay, so technically that's a higher degree of success, I think, is how it works.
Yes. Ernest wins his power check and you're unable to dominate him. Okay, all three of you who are still alive, listen checks, please.
Oh, fuck, it's gonna be Junior.
Absolutely. Glad I'm not allowed to do this.
That's pass.
That is not a pass. Can I push it?
You can spend luck, or you can just see if the others tell you what they hear.
Yeah, I passed.
I'll wait and see.
Okay, Liam, Tom Selleck and Ernest, you hear the sound of splashing water coming from the back room of the cabin.
All right, I'll put another shell in. I'll put another shell in my gun and I ready it. I'm like, just tell me where to fire.
Ron, put another salt shell in.
Yeah, I'm already on that.
And I'm going to light the fire and get a break a bit of wood off and
I turn to the sound of my friend and I go, "It's any consolation. I've lived long enough to know the sound of a gun being cocked with ill intent."
Yes.
Yes.
I would like for Dylan from Beyond the Grave to make a science check, please.
Oh.
That is a hard pass.
Just before you went insane, you noticed one particular vial was of white phosphorus, liquid fire, and you pocketed it just before you went insane. It's at this point that it rolls out of your breast pocket onto the floor. You guys see a small vial of white liquid.
I'd like to
labeled-
pick it up.
Make a science check, please.
I was gonna say, white phosphorus is the one that explodes if you don't do it right, right?
That is a 3.
Exactly.
That's a 3.
You recognize the label, white phosphorus. You know that this will blow up if it's handled without care. It may come in handy. Hear the sound of a metal door being thrown open, and then a roar. Father!
Oh, goddamn the music.
Hear the sound. You hear heavy footsteps slowly pounding down the hallway towards the room you are in. Do one thing before you are assaulted. What will you do?
Alright, have I already...
All my guns loaded, and I
Sure, your
will let
guns-
the shot in the direction of the sound, and I'll get my so tell me when it shows its head.
Alright,
You gonna light the fireplace?
Oh, I thought I already did that.
You ran over to it, but you're
Okay,
about to light it now.
Wait, wasn't it already lit?
Yeah, well, it was already lit, but it's starting to die down. You might have to stoke it a bit.
Oh,
That's
okay,
fair.
alright, we might actually need Ernest for this, so can I cast Cloud Memory? Because you said he could forget about being blinded.
All right, Ernest, do a power check, please.
Pow.
Fail. Okay. You are clouding his memory. What memory in particular do you remove?
The memory of him being blinded.
Right. You, Ernest, suddenly your vision returns. In fact, it was never gone. Don't know why you've been sitting on this couch, clutching these wounds. You appear to be just fine.
Yeah, you fucking
Well,
idiot.
tally-ho. I position myself next to the fire, and I'm ready as shot.
And that's 1d3 san from you, Tom Selleck,
I don't know.
casting the spell.
Oh, 1d3. Ugh.
3 san. Okay. What will Ron Constantine do?
Pointing my gun down the hallway, ready to fire.
With your I assume with the salt.
Yeah,
The salt
the
shells
salt-
ready to go.
Salt shells are ready.
Right? Who's got the lowest luck out of you three?
What's mine?
I've got 50.
I've got 53.
50. 53. What have you got, Ernest?
39.
39. Ernest, make a luck check, please.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
1. Thumps. You hear something bashing at the wall on the other side of the room. The wall adjoining this room with the kitchen, but it's unable to break through the wall. You hear a roar. Roar, and the footsteps continue pounding down the hallway. Ernest, make another luck. Actually, no. You've had. Would like on Constantine to make a luck check, please.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, shit.
As you aim your guns towards the door leading out into the hallway, there is a loud crash. And as Junior bursts through the wall beside you, from the edge of the dining room, you are flung to the ground. You see Junior enter, an 8-foot-tall, half man, half fish, humanoid creature, simultaneously resembling a waterlogged corpse and some sort of terrible reptile. All three of you, send checks, please.
It's a pass.
That one.
Oh, nice.
That's an
Pass.
extreme pass.
Okay, that's a pass from all three of you. Okay. On Constantine, you've been flung to the ground, and you miss your current turn. Meanwhile, Junior begins to walk towards the person with the lowest luck, which is Ernest, and he swings his gigantic, muscular yet emaciated arms at you. Yes, you can do a dodge check or a fighting check.
I will do a fighting check.
Very well.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Right, we will see what happens. Hopefully you will be okay here. Right, just going to his...
Would drinking liquid fire burn the insides?
Yes, it would. Okay.
Yeah, white phosphorus is extremely toxic. It's also technically a solid at room temperature.
Huh. Ooh.
Oof. He swings at you with his gigantic arm, smashing a piece of the door frame in the process as you jump to the back. You did a fighting check, that wasn't a dodge. Yeah. So it's just based on whether he hits, and he has a fighting of 95, so he does hit you.
Oh,
he
shit.
Hits you with his muscular arm, sending you flying across the room. Take 2 points of damage as you are flung into the moth-bitten couch.
Well, I'm still up.
Yep. Okay, it's now your turn.
All right. I'm going to shoot it.
Right. Roll damage, please.
All right. So that was a hit, but
Yeah, yep. Roll firearms. Roll for damage.
10 points of damage.
Fire. Boom.
Does that have to make a constitution? Does that have to make a constitution check?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Bang! You fire because you see your bullet chip off a scaly piece of something on his chest. He takes 5 points of damage as your bullet barely pierces his scaly, fishy armor. Okay. Ron Constantine, is your turn. You are prone on the ground. What do you do?
I take a shot.
Right? Make a firearms check with disadvantage, please, because you are on the ground.
Oh, okay. If I got up, I wouldn't be able to do anything else for this turn, would I?
You could get up, but then you'd have to make a hard firearms check with disadvantage.
Oh. Alright.
Also, I'd like to point out that that's my favorite rendition of a half-fish, half-man I've ever seen.
Yep.
Okay, well, both of those are passes.
Alright. You climb to your feet, and then you raise your shotgun. Fire! Roll for damage, please.
4d6 plus 2. 12.
Nice.
Ooh, 12 points
And that's
With
damage.
rock.
That's the shot. Salt.
Fire. Yep. You fire a shot. Unfortunately, the salt doesn't do anything against him. It was purely against magical things. You see your shell collide with his scaly outer skin and blast some of it off. He takes 6 damage and roars in pain. Okay. Salik, you're up. What do you do?
He's still humanoid. I can still dominate, correct?
Oh, it's not human.
Yeah, he's humanoid.
Yeah, he's humanoid. He's no longer human.
Okay.
Dominate.
Only works on human minds, which he has not got.
Okay, yep. Well, there goes my plan. I was going to try to dominate and get him to drink the liquid fire.
Fine, he'll just dominate you physically.
Yeah.
You could throw the liquid fire.
Yeah, I'll throw the liquid fire.
Right. Make a throw check, please.
Oh, that's a 10.
Right.
Does he have to make a... No, never mind. I was going to say, does he need to make a luck check to see if the glass breaks, but fuck that.
You reach for the vial of white phosphorus, and you hurl it at him. It shatters upon hitting his skin, and whoosh! Blue and then orange flame begins to burn the side of his body. He shrieks in pain and begins wildly flailing his arms.
Danger, Will Warren,
Good news,
danger.
you just
I would-
napalmed him.
I would like Ernest to make a luck check, please.
Oh no.
No, that's failure.
Fail. All right. I would like you to make a dodge check with disadvantage.
Ooh, shit.
I wonder if that works. Wait. No, we can't do it
Oh.
double like that.
Let's roll 2d1. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, not fail.
Right, fail. All right. Roll 1d100. Sorry. He flails around, and the tip of his arm, a webbed, clawed fin, slashes against the nearest person, the one who he attacked last round, Ernest. 4 points of damage.
All right. Still alive.
Still kicking.
Still kicking.
Still kicking.
Yep.
Just barely still kicking. I
Also
want you to
not-
make a.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
I want you to make a Constitution check, please.
Oh, come on, pass.
Pass.
Nice.
Us. You managed to stay conscious, though you were bleeding heavily, on the verge of death. Monster roars, and in a fit of rage, he charges Tom Sullick. Tom Sullick, make a dodge check, please.
Come on, baby. That is, what's my dodge at? That is a pass.
Right? If he needs to get a hard pass or higher to hit you. And that is not a hard pass.
Oh, thank fuck.
He swings at you. You roll out of the way. Okay, Ernest, it is your turn.
All right. I'd like to shoot him again.
All right? He's got his back turned to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Roll for damage, please.
Is he doubling that?
No.
Well, 18.
18.
Still good.
Boom! You fire, and with the flames of the white phosphorus burning away his scales, you see the soft, fleshy. So you see the soft, fleshy skin underneath, and you fire. Bang! A bullet goes into his neck. Blood and yellow liquid begin to spray in a circle around him as he shrieks in pain. As he goes down, he swings both arms wildly in an arc around him. I would like all three of you to make dodge checks, please.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know who was first there.
I got.
How about we just re-roll that one because that.
Because
You go
someone's going to fail otherwise.
That's a hard.
Yeah, that is a hard pass.
And that's a hard pass for me.
That is, I will spend 8 luck points to make that. Oh no, 18 luck points to make that a pass.
Oh, jeez. Oh!
That is a
That's
extreme
unfortunate.
pass, and I think it hits you all.
As he hits you, as he goes down, dying with his death rattle, he flails his limbs wildly, hitting all three of you, tearing through your soft skin. All take 1 point of damage.
Since
Okay, that's
since
alright.
I'm wearing the, since I'm wearing since I'm wearing the World War One vest, would that be no damage?
No, it doesn't go beyond 1. And then he twitches once and ceases to move. Flaming corpse in front of you, slowly being burnt away into a puddle of slime and goo.
Oh, lovely.
Do you
Alright.
do anything?
I sit back down and finish my tea.
Either of the other do any other of you do the other two of you do anything?
I bleed into the carpet.
I go get a log out of the fire and chuck it on the gooey remains.
I
Right.
literally survived with 1 HP.
As you approach the remains, they begin to bubble, and you see something squirm underneath.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
I'm getting out of there.
yeah.
I'm
Dodge
back
check.
up.
I'm
Check.
nowhere near that.
Dodge,
Dodge
check.
check, please.
Who?
Everyone.
No, just
Just.
Ron here.
Yep. Oh, god damn it.
Shit.
And
Had
then
a whole lot of not dodging.
a sickening squish, black tentacle shoots out at you, wraps itself around your arm, and you feel a terrible sting as you take 3 points of damage.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points of damage. Oh,
Minus 1.
yes, you take 1 point of damage, and then
And 3 eggs.
the tentacle stops moving and falls lifelessly to the ground.
Alright. Can I grab my belt and just, like, tourniquet my arm?
Yeah, I go over to his arm and I pull my machete out and I delicately cut where the sting was.
You pull a
Yep,
Herschel
make
from
a-
Walking Dead.
Make a dex check, please, Ernest.
Let's see if you butcher him as bad as you
Plus.
butchered yourself.
Plus, you quickly flick your blade under his skin, extract the 3 round objects, and drop them on the floor.
Oh,
You
good.
all appear to be safe. Right. And that is the end of the scenario.
I lived.
Make-
I actually lived through an entire scenario.
Ernest shouldn't have lived, but he did.
Yes.
Hmm.
I was trying hard to kill him. You head out, climb back into the boat. You bring the bodies of Caitlin O'Brien and Professor Longfellow with you.
Well,
Make your way.
before we do that, can we cut the eggs out of Caitlin?
Already done that.
Oh, you've already done that. Okay.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh,
And then you make your way back to civilization. You arrive back in the town of Bridgewater as the first rays of sunlight appear over a grey, misty skyline.
Now, you forgot
get
to answer a
myself-
very important question here.
I get myself to a hospital.
Did they return the boat?
Did you return the boat?
Yes, we returned both boats.
yeah.
Professor Woodrow, Mr. Woodruff, the editor of The Independent, is crestfallen when he sees Caitlin's limp corpse being carried over Ron Constantine's shoulder. He sinks to his knees and begins to weep openly in the street. Feel as if solved nothing, as if went out there to save the life. Not only were you unable to save her, but you lost one of your own. Spend a few days tending to your wounds, recovering, giving Ernest some well-deserved bed rest, and then you return the boat to Lucas Devlin in the swamp. And then stay just long enough to attend Caitlin's funeral, a lonely, solemn memorial held in the town square. You were the only people in attendance, aside from her landlady and a couple of people from the newspaper. And then you depart to continue your search for more followers of Gla'aki, to find Gla'aki and end this evil once and for all. Okay. Each gain for killing the monster, 1d8 sanity.
1d8. Oh, nice.
Oh, 1.
1.
I think I got the. Oh, it's on one. I got the 1.
Oh, so you got the 1. All right, so that means
Well,
No.
Do
Mine
you
is
reroll?
separate to yours on my
both
screen.
of you re-roll.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
5 for me.
5. All right, now Matt re-roll.
I'm happy with that.
5. Yep. Okay, so 5, 5, and 8. And for killing Professor Hodges and his half-wit son Edgar, you gain 1d6 sanity.
Woo.
Nice. I'm rolling with my actual dice.
Okay.
Oh, 2.
4.
4.
I got
However, for failing to save Caitlin, you lose 1d6 sanity.
2. Ugh, come on, 1.
1!
Oh,
One.
crap.
2.
I just lose
2.
all the sanity that I gained.
You each gain 15 skill points to disperse as you wish. You also each gain points in Cthulhu Mythos
How many
skill.
points was
How
that?
many points? Sorry, you cut out.
15 skill points to disperse amongst your skills, and 10 Cthulhu Mythos skill points.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Alright, I'd take the...
And
oh, sorry, I'll let you finish.
you may study the revelations of Gla'aki yourself, but as your Cthulhu Mythos is quite high now, you may not get much use out of it. Would you like to provide it to either Ron or Ernest to study?
Hey, Ron, do you want to read about an Eldritch God?
Yeah, that sounds
Lovely.
like great fun.
You want to read the good book?
No, it's the bad
Spend-
book.
You spend some time after this ordeal studying the book, The Revelations of Gla'aki, Volume 4. I would like you to lose 1d6 sand, please.
Show me number 6.
2.
2. But you gain 5 Cthulhu Mythos skill points, and you learn the spell
Ooh.
Rack.
Ooh, rack.
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 Nice, rack.
As in rack with pain.
Yep, it costs 3 MP and 1 sanity. And what it does is if you succeed on an opposed power roll with the target, they are racked with terrible agony. They must make a sanity check, and regardless of whether or not they pass, they are blinded
Oh,
3d10 minutes.
oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
You probably can't tell us this, but is it effective against all targets, or is it not
It
clear
does
on
not
that?
specify human. Any target that is able to comprehend what is happening to it.
Cool.
Yes. You have 1 spell, and you've survived.
What about
Yay!
what about luck? Do we gain it?
Oh, yes.
This is
Each
a
of
first
you-
for me.
Each of you now make a luck check.
That is a fail.
Ah, god damn it.
Fail by
That is a
1.
pass.
I'm gonna re-roll mine because I
No,
don't.
no,
know
don't you
mine.
want to fail?
Yeah, we
No,
want to
that
fail.
was a
You do
fail
want-
for me. That's what I meant.
I failed by
I got
1.
87 and one's
Right.
reading.
Alright, so you both gain 2d10 luck.
Okay.
2d10. There we go, I'll just roll it here.
Okay, I'm about to roll.
Roll
6. There we go.
6 luck.
2d10.
Let's hope Tom gets some because
Wait,
he's seriously
didn't you
low.
pass?
15.
15. Oh,
And I get
yeah.
17.
Yeah, but you passed your luck check, didn't you?
No, I said I failed by
No,
1.
Matt.
Oh, you failed. Oh, all 3. Yeah, all 3 of you failed. Okay, so luck for everybody.
Really? I thought Matt had 50 luck at one point. All right.
Yeah, I don't know whether the 87 was mine. That's why I was saying, should we re-roll?
It's all right. You can
Well,
all take the luck.
It's pretty clear on mine. Usually when it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
was
can-
clear on
you can
mine as
take-
well.
usually when it's because I've got like the dice, like mine comes up, but it'll be dice bot you thing when it's usually you, me, then both our rolls if it's close.
Yeah,
Okay.
on my screen he got the 87 and you
Yeah.
got a 39, but take the luck, you're gonna need
You
it.
can
Yeah.
can all get the luck. You're probably all gonna die next week.
Oh no.
So,
Yeah. Definitely.
Unless someone wants to be a Gla'aki cultist all of a sudden.
No.
Well, I
Yeah,
might
that
roll up a cultist.
That,
so
that,
you never do know.
that doesn't go so well for the
But-
Glock.
But and this only applies to Dylan because everyone else has survived at least 1 session going into next week. Dylan, the character you play next week, if he survives, you may bring him into Day of the Beast,
Sounds good to me.
What about if
which
I
is the
survive?
8-parter.
Not that it'll last very long, but I always appreciate bringing a character through, even though I've got one, only had one so far. Oh, yeah, one so
Liam,
far.
Tom, and Matt, you don't get to bring the character through because you've already established yourselves in this campaign.
God damn it.
Okay, so
Yeah, I've seen too much.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna
sh-
go the same
you-
way as the lawyer and sail off.
You-
No, not the lawyer.
I can't
Usually-
understand over
Hold on,
the
wait, go.
sheer amount of
Shh.
people talking.
Dale, go on.
Usually I make you roll new characters for a new campaign.
Ah, yeah,
but
that makes sense.
if you guys are making new characters in the final session of the campaign and you survive, I feel I have to reward you in some way, and so I let you bring that character into the next campaign.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Because you're going to be
I'm
objectively
backing out because I
Yeah.
gotta go to work. See ya.
See you, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, we play. Yep. That's all right.
All
I'll
right.
contact him. on
How
Monday.
about this? How about this? If I make a character who is friends with my character, can I like pass him my magnum?
Yes, you can pass on the Magnum if you make a character who's friends with your
Awesome.
guy.
Awesome.
have to name it. Though.
Perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What?
Has to become a hereditary item and it has to have a name.
Likewise, if you die next week, you may create a character who's a friend of your character, and he may be who receives inheritance from your dead character.
Like my last two characters.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. He's done. Alright, well, I'll be back in a sec. I'll just end the stream.
Yeah, no problem.
Alright, guys, there you go. Episode 2 of The Revelations of Gla'aki. Holy crap, we survived. And thank God Dale threw in that liquid fire. My God. And yes, the Magnum is a deadly weapon. I love it. But we have survived, but most likely gonna die. This is a 25 Cthulhu mythos. This is the highest mythos I have gotten so far, but it doesn't matter. Well, the goal is to have this character survive all 3 episodes. That would be amazing. And I've increased my firearm skill to 90, so even bigger chance of having hard and critical firearm passes. So, yay! But as always, this has been quite good. I'd like to thank you everybody who's been here tonight. Big thank you to Dylan for following me, and thank you for Kitty for the 3-month subscription. A big thank you to you all. Well, we will be back next Friday. Yes, we're going Friday again for episode 3 of The Revelations of Gla'aki, and see who survives. Until then, sorry, still a bit gassy from the Red Bull. Until then, my friends, if you haven't already, hit the like, sub, and follow button, as well as smacking the shit out of that like button. And if you enjoy what you see, tell your friends, bring them along. I'm sure they would like it. But until then, my dear friendos, I will see you next time. Sometime soon. Bye!